give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make.
Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave.
Hello. Democrats against UN Agenda 21. The hell's that?
Well, I think it's mesh. So the back of it's all mesh.
UN Agenda.
You know, a little bit of Grim Reapers. Okay. We want to be a little menacing. We want to be a little menacing. So these will be the two. So I think these are going to be the two that we're going to go with. We're going to put these on the store. We'll come up with some shirts ideas. We'll put those on the store. Sandals are done and ready to go. The sandals are ready to be printed. The sandals do come from, I think, Printful is where the sandals come from. So sandals, those are done. Don't have any pants, don't have a baby onesie yet, but you could. So like those other things, you know, if you do them on Printful and stuff like that, they're pretty easy to do. But I can't really vouch for the quality on all the things, which is why I was just trying to stick to a couple of things that I can quality control test. But the other things, like what is cool, my friends, about these other companies that do this stuff, like
interesting
and stuff like this, you just upload your logo and they can just print it on.
How's it going, Anna?
Print it on all sorts of stuff. But yeah.
Put on your best buddy here.
Grab the sandals. So the sandals.
Some background 9/11 takes while I'm pulling something else up for us to watch.
Kind of thing. But I think
Sure.
let me grab those. I have the final print of these.
It's your buddy. You had Roseanne on Friday.
Doing today, Dilly in the chat, much appreciated. Got rid of that YMCA stuff and by request. I really enjoy the new intro. I think they did a really good job.
No, I actually have sandals. Yeah.
I think they did an excellent job on that. How was everybody's weekend?
So these are what they look like.
Hope it was good.
Shane Gillis was awesome.
So these are the
Probably was
sandals.
okay. NFL
We've got a Joe Biden pair.
season. NFL. If you still watch NFL football,
But
that started this weekend. People are excited about that. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on. No dancing, 0 out of 10. That is true, but that was kind of an old meme. Like I had done those intros, like, you know, that those are all like nice new fresh memes from the channel, more timely. You know what I mean, Jelly Beans? So I'm happy that your team won, or I'm sorry that your team lost this weekend. The best advice I can give you about the foosball from somebody who is terminally addicted. I really was. I was like terminally addicted to the foosball. Just, you know, it's weird. Like weirdly, you know, I used to play fantasy football and I would have like, you know, 5 different, windows open, watching all this stuff, watching all these games. And then I was like, dang, Jeremy, you really are wasting your life. And then, you know, I would, you know, if the Packers won, I was in like an excellent mood. I spent the rest of the night watching all the reruns and replays and all that kind of stuff. And then if they lost, it ruined my mood. I just started like, not letting it kind of run my life. And, you know, you can still enjoy it. And then, you know, kind of they did all the woke virtue signaling with Colin Kaepernick. You know, and so there's, you can enjoy it. I don't think that you're like a garbage human for watching football. I watch the Packer games. But I will say that just don't get like, just don't let it kind of ruin your day. Don't let it, you know, be a thing.
So these are
Speaking of that, How's your team doing there, Anna?
I would, I try to do something during the commercials. I try to do something during halftime so that I don't like waste all that time, Then it's like, oh, if the Packers lost, at least I took the garbage out and I cleaned and I, cleaned up my office. You know what I mean? And if they won, I didn't feel like I was missing any part of the game. Even better, what I'm going to start doing next week is working out during the game. Pac-Man said, I quit watching NFL when they started putting SJW messages on the field. I listen to the radio, but don't watch. After yesterday, we found out the Bears still suck. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Bears. They're not very good. I think that's part of it. Their play calling is very poor for Justin Fields. Justin Fields is a decent quarterback. It's just like they don't. One thing none of the pundits were saying were, they talked about like, all he kept throwing were on dump offs underneath. But I think what gets overlooked is the Packers do have a really good secondary, and he probably didn't have a lot of open receivers downfield, which is why he was getting sacked, which is why he was dumping off a lot. But yeah, I think enjoy football, but just like anything, protect your time, protect your free time, that kind of stuff. Don't let it like make you have fights with your wife, anything like that.
What I think we could also do is like have a whole hunter.
And then it's good, right? Then you're good. As long as you don't let it like, as long as you don't let it be annoying, as long as you don't let it ruin your day.
Hey, Keto.
Let's start with some stuff that we could only
so those are basically ready to go. I just got to get the final
talk about on Rumble. Today is 9/11. It's a bittersweet day. It's a day of remembrance for the innocent civilians, innocent American civilians that died on that day. But it is also a day to remember that our government used that, stood on their graves to infringe on our rights at historic levels with things like the Patriot Act, that hundreds of thousands of Iraqis were killed for no reason, for a lie about weapons of mass destruction. I think that it's tough now that I get older and you look back at it and you say like, man, I remember during 9/11, I was pretty young, I was 18. I was like, man, why'd all these other countries hate us? Now I get it. Now I get it. We're going to be talking about Building 7. That's right. Because we are on Rumble. But I want to just, the hundreds of thousands of Iraqis that lost their life, the thousands of innocent Americans that lost their life, the American soldiers that died there, that or bodies, lives are affected in ways that I'll never understand. All the corruption around it. It's hard for me to, really go back on this day and like it's not cleanly about those innocent Americans that died anymore now. Now that I'm older, now that my eyes are open, when never forget to me means never forget what your own government will do to its citizens if they think that they can get more power, if they think that they can.
Absolutely.
I'm not a big conspiracy theory guy, but what I am is a guy that remembered that, George Bush Jr., may he burn in hell for eternity, sat on that TV and told us that, our weapons of mass destruction, we have to go there because a couple of Saudi Arabians flew planes into the buildings, but we couldn't blame Saudi Arabia because we needed their oil. So we had to go to Iraq. And, looking back, it's one of the most savage things that, I was 18 at the time it happened. So a lot of my friends enlisted, I remember one of my friends begging us to break his arm before deploying because he didn't want to go anymore. I mean, there are memories of that day, and everything that happened, was kind of an awakening for me. This individual shared a Luke Rutkowski video, and I want to shout out Luke Rutkowski for this. But they tweeted, Larry Silverstein was the lease holder for the World Trade Center just months before 9/11. Took out an insurance plan that fortuitously covered terrorism. Didn't show up for work on 9/11. Neither did his daughter, and neither did his son. Told the fire department commander maybe the smartest thing to do would be to, quote, pull it when he was told that they weren't sure they were going to be able to contain the fire. He also took the insurance company to court after 9/11, claiming that he should be paid double because there were 2 terrorist attacks, and he actually won and was awarded $4.5 billion.
Cats get more eye traffic from behind.
$4.5 billion. If you don't already, if you don't follow Luke Rutkowski, he is an absolute monster. He is a no-nonsense guy. Very, very impressive when you meet him in person. Very good dude. They shared this video of him. So I wanted to give Luke the credit. You could at least tag me in my own video, but here.
You were accused of. Sadly, your response is that
You hear, this is Luke talking, little baby Luke. This was 10 years ago. He got, well, he's been arrested for some of his tenacious reporting. I mean, it's.
you were accused of. Sadly, your response is actually invited more of them. I mean, for the record, everybody knows your infamous comments on PBS where you said cool building 7 on 525 on the day of 9/11.
They were not sure they would be able to continue. That's a little bit such trouble in his life. This was some dirt. And they made that
Larry Silverstein.
as we watched the building collapse.
Your official response was that it was firefighters. My question is, it was pretty clear that you meant the building, and if it was the firefighters, they already are outside the building by 12 because the water lines were broken. And the fire chief that you said you spoke to, fire chief Nagro, did not talk to you on that day of 9/11. Can you answer those questions and address the theories again?
OC shift.
I suggest
Right.
everybody's consideration.
You can do a whole Republican series.
As the thousands of people suggested government theory have been rendered for many years since
Great
9/11.
paper idea.
Let's use today's session for something that's
Are you aware of testimony of bombs in the building before the building collapsed, sir? Are you aware of that testimony?
He gets
Sir,
kicked
there's
out.
testimony by Barry Dennis. Sir, you don't have to touch me. Listen, I'll walk away. All I'm asking is a question. I don't have to be kicked out. It's a legitimate question. You don't have to put your hands on me. But all I'm saying is, no, I'm not. I'm here after the question was not answered. That's why I have a grievance. Larry Silverstein was told not to come into work. That's why him, his daughter, and his son never showed up to work on 9/11. He put an insurance policy on the building. Reporters, do your job, please. Ask
How many buildings came down on 9/11? Let's go to 47 was a 47-story steel frame building owned by Larry Silverstein, who owned it before he bought the lease, weeks before 9/11, for the Twin Towers. If you go on the internet and you put in, on YouTube, you put in Building 7 collapse or whatever, you will see the most obvious controlled demolition you'll ever see. You know what you see from time to time, these buildings are
Okay, so my friends, let us leave it there.
the
Thank you
charges
for
are
the
in the
great
building
feedback. Work is
in
pretty fun.
specific sequences.
Fabulous.
So that when they go off, the building falls on its own footprint and don't bang into other buildings.
One day, and so we're going to see what news has in store for us as we get back in the seat on this busy week ahead. And so we'll come back and see what you guys are up to here on later in the day, even here in the morning. But my friends, I hope you have a beautiful day. You make it a great day ahead, and I will see you back here soon. Bye, my friends.
Pretty smoking.
On the morning of September 11th, 2001, 19 men armed with...
Pretty interesting, huh? Yeah, I don't know. I can't say anything is the truth. You know, I don't know. I mean, like, I'm not saying any of this is the truth, Rob. You know, I'm just saying that, you know, I don't know. There's a lot of very fortuitous, you know, just because Larry Silverstein took, you know, made $5 billion because those buildings were attacked in a terrorist attack, does not mean that it wasn't terrorist attack. Maybe there was grumblings. Maybe there was inside knowledge that, hey, there's some stuff going on about this date that people in power got and we didn't. You know, that's all I'm saying. Maybe it's just like, you know, how Disney launched Disney Plus like right before the pandemic. What a coincidence. Does that mean Disney did it? No. Does it mean that maybe Disney had some knowledge? Disney knew that they were going to lock us down before the rest of us? You know? I'm just saying that there was people there were people that knew about 9/11 before it happened. I believe that. I can't prove it, but I believe that. I also believe that the entire war. Yeah, I mean, gaps in the record. Well, I think we would know a lot more if it happened today, because it would be, we would have 1,000 cell phone angles of it. We would know more if it happened today. There are gaps in the record, which does not, just because there's a gap in a record, does not prove a theory. That's all but it also doesn't prove it. I'm just for the sake of conversation. A lot of people talk about, 9/11 is like, they only think about the victims on that day, which they do deserve to be thought about. They do deserve to be talked about and remembered. But 500,000 dead Iraqis after that. The Patriot Act. They took away they used 9/11 to take away online gambling. Did you guys remember that? Because the government couldn't regulate it, they got rid of online gambling to keep us all safe. I mean, that's how the government works. Oh, we're having an unprecedented power grab, so we can infringe on American rights at levels that we've never done before. Also, no more partypoker.com. Yeah.
That's all come back.
Was directed by a man on dialysis in a cave fortress halfway around the world using a satellite phone and a laptop directed the most sophisticated penetration of the most heavily defended airspace in the world, overpowering the passengers and the military combat-trained pilots of 4 commercial aircraft before flying those planes wildly off course for over an hour without being molested by a single fighter interceptor. These 19 hijackers...
Well, I think that there was a reason why they didn't shoot them down. I mean, you have to be the pilot that kills 100 innocent Americans. It's an impossible decision. And also the reason the passengers didn't see, there's a lot. So I'll rebut a lot of this, conspiracies. The reason I believe that the Pennsylvania one was shot down. That's my belief, and it's my belief that there was no passenger uprising, but that's neither here nor there. I think the reason that the passengers didn't rise up.
Got my microplastic unsweetened tea.
Okay. It's okay. We're not gonna do anything. We're gonna land.
Mail call.
Mail call.
Oh, that's funny. I get the same thing at my house whenever we get a delivery.
Hold on. It's okay. Thank you, puppy. No, I didn't mean go back and bark more. Okay, so it's probably the feds. Yeah. I don't know, Hucky. It's okay. I don't know anything for fact. Huck, come here. There you go, good boy. Yeah, is this going to talk about understanding? No. We got regular news. Yep, regular news. This is not what we're talking about. Yeah, I put the echo on. Put the effects on for Huck for my reimagine thing. Ready? Oh, do you hear this yawn? Come here, Huck. Yeah, good boy. Yeah. Ooh, you got Bobby. Ooh, you got Bobby. Thank you for protecting me from the mailman. Hey, good boy. Hey, you got Bobby. There he is. Borker. Hey, good boy. Yes, hey, good boy. All right. Borker has made an appearance. Yeah, you all got Poppy. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot. The reason the passengers didn't rise up is because the terrorists told them that they were going to land. I think that they just believed them, And the story for the passenger rise up is that they started turning their cell phones on, and they figured out that they were flying the planes into buildings, and that's why they allegedly rose up, But yeah, it's then you have this guy. Speaking of hot takes, remember this guy? This also got 27,000 likes. No worries, Nicoletta. I am traumatized all over again while watching this video recap. He's traumatized. He's talking about not 9/11, but he's talking about January 6th. Don't try to tell me that January 6th wasn't worse than 9/11. Worse than 9/11. Worse. Of course, the replies are, Now, the other thing is, oh man, remember? Dude, do you guys remember? What is his name? The actor, what was that actor's name that lied about, he made up this whole story. About he was supposed to be in the building, and he was supposed to be in the World Trade Center on 9/11, but he wasn't. And then he got caught, and it just ruined his career. I think he was on like that sports buddy show called I forget what it was called. No, it wasn't Smollett. It was I'm trying to think of his name. I forget it. But he made up this whole story about how he was on that fantasy football show. He made up a whole story about how the league. Yeah, the league. Yeah. He made up that whole story, and then he was like forced to come out later and admit that it was all a lie. Like, yikers. Steve Renazazi, not Michael Rappaport, although he is a real piece of garbage too. I don't even understand how Michael Rappaport got famous, how he got popular. But he's got just incredible TDS. Incredible TDS. By the way, if you're watching and you haven't yet, click that thumbs up button down below the video. Only 167 people have. That's pretty sad. Make sure you click that. It helps, I think, new people find it. I think. It's because people confuse him for Bill Burr. Yeah, I mean, we've got, some interesting stuff. Who doesn't love dunking on an entitled brat? I think everyone basically likes that, right? Everybody enjoys doing that. It's and by the way, men and women can both be entitled brats. There was an era in which people who were making six figures were doing these day in the life videos. And then there was a trend not shortly after about women searching for lazy girl jobs. Girls that, hey, if you don't want to work hard, then this is a job for you. And I think that, you see entitled Zoomer complains about her cushy six-figure job. Here's a reality before we get to the dunking. Hard times are coming, and there's a lot of these cushy jobs are going away. You look at Twitter fired 7,000 people, Meta fired 15,000 people, Disney fired thousands and thousands of people. A lot of these whiners that have never had a garbage job in their life. I worked a lot of garbage jobs. I washed dishes for almost 2 years. Starting when I was, I think, 14, I washed dishes until I was I know I was still washing dishes when I was 16. Maybe, yeah. And then I got a job in retail, which isn't much better. Which meant when I got to a cushy job, sales, like internet marketing, stuff like that, my work ethic and my will to complain about things was completely gone because I'd had a lot of garbage jobs.
Yeah, fucking ring twice.
Let's take a
I
look,
had a
and then
chance to answer
we'll
it.
take a look at the lazy girl jobs, which was trending a while back too. And then bonus video, another childless woman telling you how totally happy she is.
All right, come to work with me as a consultant in New York City. Are you guys aware that corporate America is literally just a fictional construct we all
Literally?
choose to believe in? Yeah, anyways, Ubered to the office instead of subwaying because I am lazy.
I knew that. We knew that. Like, there's no question about you being lazy.
Supposedly we share this building with the NHL, which is kind of cool. It took the elevator up to like the 900th floor.
Where is everybody? That's the thing, like, all these jobs, they're going away. All these companies that are paying $100,000 a month to lease out some cushy place because that's what they thought it took to get good employees. Where is everybody?
Which is my least favorite part of the day because it's just kind of terrifying.
Ugh.
Grabbed a coffee and then went to go find my spot for the day. We do like hoteling, so nobody actually has an office. You just get assigned a spot. They've been giving us 2 laptops now.
We do hoteling. Now, I remember when they tried to force this BS on me. I was working at a marketing agency, and it's hard to find marketing employees in Wisconsin. They all moved to New York or LA. That's just the reality of it. So we had to pay more than anyone else, which was great for me at the time. I think I was like 23 years old, and I was making maybe $120,000 or $140,000 a year. It was insane with bonuses. And I worked in a cube for a long time because they said, "Oh yeah, it's good to have this open concept, and people are more productive when you don't have an office." BS. I was way more productive once I finally stood up for myself and said I want an office. Because when I was on the floor, people were constantly interrupting me, or jibber jabbering, and not getting stuff done.
So we can double our productivity. So I Excel.
2 monitors does not double your productivity. It does increase your productivity, but does not double your productivity.
They've been giving us 2 laptops now, so we can double our productivity. So I Excel modeled for 5 hours, 8 assemblies.
I Excel modeled for 5 hours. Ooh, Excel modeling.
Snacks, got lunch with a coworker, and
They have, this is what I mean, they spend money on a Boston Dynamics robot, and it's their office dog.
then the office dog walked by. He's so cute. We're so blessed.
Totally. So blessed. Hashtag blessed. Ugh, God, I have to make another espresso because I just can't even.
And then I had a meeting with like 100 people.
Again, where is everybody? There's nobody that works at this company?
Excel modeled for 5 more hours, and then Ubered home. Yay, corporate America. Let's do it all again tomorrow.
And then I totally Excel modeled. This is what this person gets paid to do. I mean, doing models in Excel, you just need to live, laugh, love. Like any idiot can do Excel modeling either. It's not like, I mean, I shouldn't say that, but modeling is, interpreting the data is what smart people do. And you just do these models. And again, why does this job even need to exist? It's hashtag so blessed. But then you have like lazy girl jobs are trending and rally against burnout culture. Lazy girl jobs, a viral term for referring to well-paying flexible jobs that allow for leisure time, are anything but lazy. Just ask the employees who occupy these roles, who tout on social media that they have time to relax on the job and still get their work done. As anti-work discourse gains momentum across the internet, job seekers and employees are growing tired of being shamed for retaliating against a culture that they say glorifies overworking. Having accrued more than 18 million views since its emergence on TikTok in mid-May, Lazy Girl Job, which blew up last week after the Wall Street Journal reported on the concept, is the latest iteration of viral trend prompting employees to set firmer boundaries at work. Last year was quiet quitting, a term denoted working within your set hours and job description without going above and beyond. You mean stealing money from your employer? And recently, popularization of concepts like bed rotting, which describes lounging in bed for extended periods of time, and girl dinners, which constitute snack plates in lieu of fully prepped meals, encouraged many online, particularly women, to take reprieve from the burnout that commonly results from societal expectations to always be productive. Look, nobody is. I don't think you're expected to go above and beyond. You don't have to go above and beyond. However, you do.
Your body's pretty
understand
forgiving, though.
that then, by the way, the same people that do this crap are the first ones whining and saying that the reason they're not getting ahead in their careers because they're a woman. They're saying I'm not getting ahead in my life because patriarchy. Wrong. If you want to do the bare minimum, you will never get fired. Generally, you go work at Amazon warehouse. You can work there 30 years for never working outside of your set hours and never doing anything beyond what they hired you to do. Now, if you want to do more, oh, look at that. Why I'm lazy? You're watching a chunk yogurt video.
Who those people are. I don't watch the news. Fun fact about me in general, but I just want to talk about something. The first part is they always gloss over all of my success. Like I'm just a disgruntled employee. First off, I'm a completely self-made person.
Ooh, self-made, just like everybody.
Myself, and I've devoted my entire career and life and business in general now into promoting work-life balance and getting women to understand the importance of decentering their 9-to-5s from their life, right? That is the importance. And if you don't agree with specifically what I'm saying, I just want you to think about working if you're happy. And if you're doing that, then like that's amusing, right?
Why do they all sound like this? Why do they all have a vocal fry?
Impact employment wants to
upward
come help
inflection?
you.
Why do they always sound like that? And this person's called calls themselves anti-work girl boss.
That's awesome. So that's why I do.
No worries, no worries.
Try to make me seem like I'm just a disgruntled employee that doesn't want to work. The second part is why. Okay, if employees are now being criticized for being able to get a job done in 20 to 30 hours a week instead of 40
Oh, you're the one that texted me this morning.
And why are
Well, if your job is getting done, in 20 to 30
yeah,
hours,
when would you be available to come in for an interview?
Your boss should give you more work, or they should let you be done after 20, 30 hours.
Yeah, that's fine.
Then
1
you should
p.m.
be
tomorrow?
paying for 20, 30 hours. By the way,
Yep.
being a self-made woman is not being a TikToker. Well, I guess maybe. But
Sure,
working
go
for
ahead.
some
Go ahead.
companies,
Go ahead.
not
It's a
being
food production associate. I can actually send you the full job description via text if you want
right,
to.
we're
That way.
expected to care about our
But
relationships, right?
yeah, and it's basically you're
project earlier
you're,
for that client, I
you
would
know,
love to make them happy.
taking food products and making
Oh,
sure
none
they're
of that
packaged
matters. Then
properly.
okay, then don't work.
Mostly dry goods.
Then don't work.
Baking products and things like that.
You know. One tech recruiter who works a self-proclaimed lazy girl job
It's
at a
the
remote
facility
company
where we do the
flexible
interview is
schedule.
actually
See,
the
this
best
is just a
plan.
few months ago. What happened to all
We
that?
actually have an opening here now.
It's
too,
all
as
gone.
well. But
It's
most of the
all
work
gone.
is done over at the packaging facility over at
Here's
Telegram.
everything I did this week.
They're 10-hour shifts, so it's
I
4
always think
days a
these
week.
videos always crack me up.
First
because
shift goes from
they try
5
to
a.m.
convince
to
you how
3:30
happy they
p.m.
are, but they're really
Second
just trying
shift
to
goes from
convince
3:30
themselves.
p.m. to 2
Decided
a.m.
at the last minute that I was going to book a
The
trip
base
to
pay for first shift is 14.
Oh yeah.
There's
the
a
road
dollar
trip.
differential
Yeah,
for
okay.
second, and there's also a $1 incentive bonus, which is paid weekly. $1 an hour.
Oh, our life is so cool. That's why she's a film it.
There has been the last couple of weeks. They
Notice how this
generally
person-
try not to do it.
Their life seems
Trying to keep
incredibly
people
lonely.
there to where it's not necessary.
Eating lunch alone, buying.
They end up
you know,
losing people
like,
whenever they
what it-
have
this
them doing
does
too
not
much
seem
overtime
like-
because it's just
that guy's eyebrows. Whoa.
famous around these parts, so we took it out in a rowboat and enjoyed it on the water in front of this church/castle. There's
You mean you?
Oh yeah, they offer it to
you
everybody
rolled
whenever
it?
they do
Here's how
it.
that how that.
I mean, it's not general. You don't get to decide when overtime is. It's when
She
they need
thought.
people,
Like here's
or
what
they
a
need a
normal
certain
person
amount of
does with,
production
like,
done.
amazing cake or
But
pie or
like I
whatever.
said, last 2 weeks they've needed that,
Right?
but their goal
They
is to
just
not
eat it.
have to do that to you guys. So.
They just eat it. They don't go rent a boat and they go onto the boat just so they can show
Yeah,
everyone.
we'll have
online
first,
how
well,
happy
first
they are.
shift open over here and over at Telegraph, and
Like,
then we have
these
second shift
people are
over
the
at Telegraph.
saddest people on the planet.
But
Oh,
yeah,
I'm just so
have
totally
openings
like
on
over
both.
it, and it's so wonderful. By the way, I wonder how she afforded all this.
Well, Front Street is the mixed plan.
It's just
I
you know,
said,
the fallacies
and
that
that's
you
where
have the
my
choice
office
between
is.
having
That's
kids
where
and
you
having
come
an
in for the
adventurous life,
interview.
and the truth is you can have both.
But
Make a choice
the
along
Telegraph
the way.
is where the
I mean,
both
this
the
girl's
doors
just going to
is.
be like Chelsea Handler at 50 and talk, keep trying to convince us how happy she
And
is.
they only do
Now,
first shift
again,
on Front
you don't
Street,
have to have
so.
kids. I don't have kids, and I consider myself pretty happy. But I'm also not making videos talking about how totally happy I am and how sad you all must be. It's just such a hilarious cope. I absolutely love it. I love it.
Yep, I'll send you the address just so you have it. It sounds like you know where we're
These
at.
people
But
are
I'm
just
going to
like
send it to you anyway, and then I'll send you
terminally
a little
online,
a message saying,
terminally talking
telling you
about how
what you can bring
amazing
with
their
you
life
tomorrow,
is.
okay? All right, 1 p.m.
Generally-
good though.
Generally, happy
All right,
people
we'll
are
see.
online making.
Hey, can you do me a favor? Just reply on the text, just your full name, so I can add you to
It's
the
just
calendar.
right. How would other
Thank you.
people know how happy I am? By the way, really glad to see all of you here today. About 1,800 people already, and it's not even 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock, we usually see a nice little boost. So I thank you for everyone for being here. If you haven't yet, please do leave a like on the video down below. There's only 250. I mean, I think we can do much better than that, right? It's right here. If you're just tuning in and you aren't involved in chat, I recommend that you create a Rumble account and you get involved in the chat. It's always fun. It's a nice community there. It makes watching the videos more entertaining, I think, more memorable. You can support the channel by clicking this join button, and you'll get members only videos once a month, which I have one coming up on the 15th, I think. It's $5 a month. You absolutely do not have to, but it does go a long way to supporting the team. It's a lot more than just me. I've got 2 full-time video editors and also a full-time graphic designer to make all this machine work. And so I'm thankful for them, and I'm thankful for those that choose to support there. But yeah, it's been a wild week. I've actually got 2 things for you to check out, and then we'll get back onto more topics.
I'll be right back, guys.
I've been watching everything going on with the digital dollar and everything. I mean, that thing is coming. And, you know, up until now, the digital dollar, or people call it CBDC, has been nothing but a headline. But right now, things are developing at a rapid pace. It started with sweeping executive order from the Biden administration, and now central banks are even hiring for their development. A digital dollar can be used to track your purchases, control what you buy, and even seize or freeze your assets, like we see in China. That's why it's critical you protect your money with precious metals like gold and silver. I partner with the top-rated metals company Goldco because they're a great company with an amazing reputation. Right now, they're giving up to $10,000 in free silver while supplies last. Plus, all qualified callers this week will receive a free Ronald Reagan silver coin. Go to quarteringgold.com. The link is in the description as well. That's quarteringgold.com. Fill out this gold IRA kit thing. Talk to somebody on the phone and protect your retirement. Also in the news, Field of Greens. I admit it, I don't make the best food choices. Clearly, I'm trying to get better. The CDC says I should eat 6 cups of fruits and veggies a day. Well, there's 0 chance I'm doing that. But according to a new massive study, people eat healthy. 1, live longer. 2, have less heart disease and diabetes and have less cancer. Of course, right? That's why Field of Greens is on my radar, and I'll tell you why. Unlike other fruits and vegetable supplements, each specific fruit and vegetable in Field of Greens was medically selected to support specific functions like heart health, liver and kidney health, immune system, and metabolism. Field of Greens helps you stay healthy. It works fast, and if you're like me, you'll feel healthier, have more energy, your skin and hair will look healthier, and it can even help you lose weight. And Field of Greens works fast. And if the biggest benefit, by the way, is the better health promise. Take Field of Greens at your next doctor visit. And if your doctor doesn't say something like, whatever you're doing, keep it up, return it for a full refund, and I'll help you get started. I'll get 15% off your first order, plus get another 10% off when you subscribe to reoccurring orders. Visit fieldofgreens.com and use promo code THEQUARTERING, one word, fieldofgreens.com, promo code THEQUARTERING. Back to the news. Let's check out the Communist Revolution. I like that there's a fat purple-haired one. You'd never be fat under communism. Yeah, in terms of the Field of Green stuff, I'm starting just to, offset, other stuff that I do and keep, I boost my immunity. Because now that I'm older, the more I get sick, the more annoying it is. Like the longer it sticks around and things like that. This was at a Jason Aldean concert last night. They showed up, said communism, awesome. Communism, the coolest beans. And F America and all this stuff. But they waited for the concert to start before they had their little demonstration. Oh, they love that no Trump one. You know what I think is great? They bought those flags from Amazon. Yeah, I think that it's funny, like they talk about, They said, "Oh, we're not going to try it in a small town.
What's
We're
up,
going to
bud?
come to your concert. We'll do it there." It's like you get that that's the point of the song, right?
I'll reset it for you.
You get that that's the point of the song.
Yeah. Here,
That,
let me.
you can do this shit in
downloading this
Chicago.
for somebody.
Stuff. Sorry, pardon my French. You can do this stuff in Chicago. Okay,
Right.
but if they were that brave, I think it's pretty interesting. They were that brave. Why did they?
Oh, with the it's.
Why did they wait for everyone else?
It's pretty much
to get to be.
But yeah, that's because that link is expired though, because you did the form. Yeah, that's just a temporary link. But yeah, let me.
Not very fight the power.
Here.
They were surrounded by police.
Yeah, go ahead and actually, you just click
surrounded by police to protect them. Now, hey, I think that they're entirely within their rights.
Employee login. Go ahead and try it, see if it works
100%
before I
entirely
reset
their
it. Maybe
rights
it's
to
just
vote.
because of that link.
I'm not sure about burning things. I don't think the First Amendment covers that because of the hazardous nature of it.
I'll do that
Maybe
real
it
quick.
does. I guess
Give me a
that's
second.
an argument against it.
I just don't think.
But I think that it's also funny. It's like, go ahead and live in Cuba. Go live in North Korea. Tell me how awesome and amazing it is. None of these people ever do.
Just give me a second. I'm
somebody
resetting it. So your username
There's
is?
literally somebody in that group that flew in from California for that demonstration.
Would it be my email?
No, it's Elder
I mean,
Brandon.
talk about freedom.
049. Yeah. So is that what you've been using?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm
Talk
gonna.
about,
It's all
awesome,
saved in my phone.
Awesome.
It says the password needed to be reset.
Capitalism.
Okay.
That let that
So
happen.
you can make it whatever you want once I have it.
I don't know if you've been following this.
Right now, it's that username that I told you, and that's the password.
It's
on the,
pretty
on the
wild. I
paper.
don't really know
Have you change it when you log in?
how I feel about it. Obviously, if it's true, obviously, prison. But 30 years with no physical evidence, that seems tough. I think 30 years in prison for no physical evidence.
You can move that out of the way if you want to. Just click on it, drag it out of the way. There
I
you
don't
go.
know. Am I being like, am I being insane? I don't know. 30 years in prison with zero physical evidence. That I'm not even talking about whether or not I think he did it or not. I'm talking about.
Yeah, you should be able to just log in from your phone now.
Hearsay. Well, not hearsay. It was direct testimony by the victims. I don't know. That it's weird. So this whole situation with that 70s show crew is really weird. And if you've been following it over the weekend, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis ended up doing an apology video over the incident, trying to be character witnesses, and they're getting absolutely crushed by their woke peers, #BelieveAllWomen. Now, I want to, say that, like, hey, evidence matters, and if he did what they say he did, cool. I didn't follow the court case, but what I do know is from what I understand, there was no physical evidence. That doesn't mean he didn't do it, but 30 years in prison is a long time. The testimony must have been extremely compelling. And I think that I think that who he was probably led to amplify the sentence. You see, Ashton Kutcher now turned off the comments under his and Mila Kunis' quote apology video after they were slammed for writing a glowing character letters on behalf of Danny Masterson. I don't really. So essentially, what happened was, years ago, or during the trial, they were asked to write letters, in characters, about his character, and for me, I think that. They're all Hollywood weirdos, so I entirely 100% believe it's all true. It's all possible. I think it was really dumb for them to even re-inject themselves. They wrote a letter in support of Danny in his trial, a reminder that people always talk about believing survivors until your family/friend who causes harm. I mean, to refer of a convicted, this as a role model and an older brother type figure, what kind of denial these people in? I don't know. You can look at it two ways. One, so essentially, the letters were to try and reduce the sentencing. I don't think it was to whether or not find his guilt or not. But they write these letters because they were probably his friend. Maybe they didn't even know anything about these type of scenarios. Maybe they didn't know anything about what happened. Maybe they did, and they still wrote the letter. Because it's Hollywood, I believe it's entirely possible that both are true. I mean, I don't think that they, them putting out this video means that they don't, support the victim. I think that, it's insane. So they put this video out, which, they picked a perfect spot. They're like, don't shave, look down a lot.
We are aware of the pain that has been caused by the character letters that we wrote that have been.
We support victims. We have done this historically through our work and will continue to do so in the future.
A couple months ago, Danny's family reached out to us and they asked us to write character letters to represent the person that we knew for 25 years so that the judge could take that into full consideration relative to the sentencing.
The letters were not written to question the legitimacy of the judicial system or the validity of the jury's ruling.
They were intended for the judge to not to our mind victims or re-traumatize.
They are paid actors. They are doing what they do. I don't, look, I think that, let's say if it wasn't Hollywood, right? And I had a friend that had done something terrible. I don't know if I would even write the letter. I guess if I ultimately believed that they were innocent, if I believed they were innocent, maybe I'd write it. But if it was like my best friend did something heinous, I don't know. I guess maybe. I don't know. It depends, I guess, what the crime was.
We're sorry that is going to be.
Our heart goes out to every single person who's ever been a victim.
All right. So it's, of course, over the top. They say, we support everybody, blah, 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 blah. I don't really care that they're getting this backlash because it's Hollywood, but I've never really seen Ashton or Mila as they've never really had any controversies that I know of. Then the comments are like, we're against trafficking and this bad things unless it's committed by our friends, 9,000 likes. The most recent video was not, I'm sorry we did this. It was, I'm sorry that you guys got to read them. And that's why the comments are off. Having an apology that lacked accountability and substance was bad. You knew deep down, hence why you disabled the comments. Just make better choices. Sometimes it's okay to say no and not burn down your brand over someone who didn't have self-control and caused permanent damage to women. You have children, be better, do better. I love when people say that. They're usually like 15-year-old kids. I think that, and now they're essentially being dragged and canceled. Now you see this. Danny Masterson, you see the accuser, shares resurfaced clip of Ashton discussing hanging out with Mila when they're very young. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. She did lie about her age. She confirmed she lied about her age to land the 70 show at 14. I'd like to make it very clear that I did lie. People are saying this because now there's this new video that's out about, where is it? Here. Like now you have this, Amiri King. This is wildly concerning. I have a feeling a lot more is going to come out in the wash. Retweet and spread this around. So now they're coming after Ashton Kutcher because that's what happens.
She also has an album out. She's going to be in a movie called Cheaper by the Dozen, and she's one of the girls that we're all waiting for to turn 18, along with the Olsen twins. Any 15.
Okay, that's a joke everyone made at the time. All right. No, again, I'm not going to go to the mat to protect Hollywood weirdos, but again, but now they put out this smear video.
Job, and I didn't know. Yeah, she was as hot as she was.
14.
14, she was even hotter. But I'm not allowed to say that.
Again, another bad joke, I think. But it's interesting. There's a lot of stuff.
14 when we started the show. I was like 19, right?
Right.
And they're like, okay, you guys are going to be making out in this scene. And I'm like thinking, wait, this is like slightly illegal,
That's
right?
probably your first kiss ever, right?
It was my first kiss. Why someone bet you made with Danny about our first kiss?
No, it wasn't the first kiss. This was like the second or third kiss.
It was the first. It was like the first week.
No, No, it was not the first week.
Whatever. Let me tell you what happened.
No, let me tell you what
No.
happened.
Okay, I've never kissed a guy. So I was so. I mean, you know, Ash was attractive, and I was a 14-year-old little girl, and I was extremely scared for my life. Sure. And then he was very nice about it. He was like, "Oh, don't worry." So I was like, "Okay." Then Danny goes and goes, "Dude, I'll give you $10 if you French kiss her." What would he stick my tongue in my mouth?
No.
I don't know. That sounds. He's a little like. That sounds a little. He's like. Nah. That's a little. It's That's one of those. Hold up. Wait a minute. That's like. 14 in Hollywood is different than Midwestern 14. That's fair.
You're making it sound like it was like really. We had a little side. Yeah. Which was as to whether or not so show with boyfriend and girlfriend. Right, Rosie? And you.
I don't think. And so was he? I think he was 19 at the time, or 17. If he was 19 and she was 14, like ew. That's I don't know about that.
And you're watching
Hi, I'm Ashton Kutcher, and I'm from That 70 Show TV, That 70 Show 2. And the reason I'm doing this is not because I think inDOCtriNATION is good, but because Josh told me to be able to sit on my lap with like. It feels good.
All right, I'm gonna put it this way. I'm gonna say this. I know it's easy to just like hate Hollywood people because like, it's Hollywood, and I would never stump for Holly weirdos. But I don't see anything too weird in those videos. Like, it's just, I mean, he's just a kid making cringe jokes. It wasn't. I don't know if you go back and you actually like look at, I don't know. 14 and 19 is gross. But I think he was just making like cringe jokes. I don't. But now they're trying to cancel and putting this out. Like, this video has 220,000 views. I think it was trending earlier. I mean, if you tell me that they hooked up when she was that young, that's one thing. But I just have to put it like, I don't really see anything there. And I don't see anything in any of these clips. He's just being a cringe 19, 20-year-old. It's not like the guy was in his 40s, And I mean, there's the law, whatever, that you need to follow and things like that. But for these two, I take more issue with them writing the letter of support, than out of context, weird cringe clips when they were young. They're married with kids now, like it's not, I just think it's funny. Like, this is just the woke crap. Like, they support their friend. Maybe they're trying to, keep them. If I think going back to my comment earlier, like if it was my friend and I could keep him out of the chair, keep him out of the electric chair or something like that, I'd probably still write it, even if they did something heinous. It's not like any of this stuff. If she felt like weirded out, that weirded out about it, I don't know. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't be married with several children nowadays. But this is what Hollywood does. They dared step out of line and write a letter for Danny. And by the way, again, I didn't watch the whole trial, but all I can say is that, as far as I understood from it, there's no physical evidence. So maybe they did believe that there was some reasonable doubt there. It's difficult to know for sure. But Hollywood's going to Hollywood anyway, and they're going to try to cancel this dude, both of these over this. Really, potentially, Ashton, I would suspect. And like, I definitely like when I was like probably 15, like I was definitely like trying to get girls who were 17. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like that wild, or 14, 17,
Yeah.
They looked very
It's a
scared
pretty
in
scary
that video,
thing, Scientology.
14 and 19 is a big difference at that time. Yeah, it is. I'm going to agree with that.
Hi,
With
one
normal
impact
people.
employment. I was trying to reach someone.
I don't know about I don't know
When
about
would you be
how-
able to come in for an interview?
Like, I don't know, like,
I'm
I'm not saying it's
no,
okay.
this is
I'm
Monroe.
just saying that, like,
I'm sorry.
I don't know, and the
I
numbers
spoke
are
to you
like,
earlier.
14 and 364 days, or was it, 14 in one day? You know, it's a freshman in high school.
Okay, I'm sorry. I like I said, you
is
just
kinda
replied
weird.
any time, so I was like,
I suppose that is a big
maybe
difference.
This isn't who I spoke. I'm still getting caught up on calls
But
from the.
I mean,
from the
I'll put it
weekend,
this way:
so.
it's not pedophilic.
Or yeah,
I don't think he's a pedophile. I think that and she very clearly had gone through puberty by that point.
Yeah.
And
They
anybody
should
watching
be
that show believed that she was just the same age as him.
Yeah. I'll text it. You want me to text it back to you?
I don't think.
That
This
way you have
is,
it on your phone. Yeah,
you know.
no worries. All right. Yeah, I'll
I
text
was
it
the
to
only
you.
character I actually really liked on that show too, and now he's
All
a
right, I will.
pedophile, so that's or he's a rapist, allegedly. Well, he's convicted of rape twice. Now, from what I understand of the case, he also dated them at some point. You know, I think that they dated at some point. Yeah, half the girls in my grade 9 class were banging seniors. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. Sometimes the conservative space is a little too, like, I understand the law and what they were doing is illegal, and that's fine. Like, if he had gotten arrested for statutory rape or something, if they were having sex at that age, I think that's gross. But they were, like, we don't know that they were having sex, or if they ever did until later. So, you know, I don't know. I feel like it's a nothing burger. They're trying to make Ashton out to be a pedo because he wrote that letter. I think if you want to talk about, oh, dude, if it was a 14 and 19, would have been fine in the Middle Ages. In the Middle Ages, 14 and 40 would have been fine. So, I mean, I don't know. You know, people, their maturity swings very wildly when they're young like that. You know, like, I definitely had friends when I was a senior that were like morons. You know what I mean? Like, doing stupid stuff, being immature. Most of them didn't work either, too, you know? Anybody that I knew that, like, we worked together and stuff like that, you know, I was pretty responsible. Like, I enjoyed, you know, hanging out with my friends and doing stupid stuff, but, like, I wasn't like, ooh, boobies. Like, you know, I wasn't, like, emotionally immature. I was immature, but I wasn't, like, I mean, I've been dating since, like, 5th grade. You know what I mean? Like, but I definitely had
When
people
my wife says she's had a hard day
that I knew that were, like,
to make her feel better.
You know, not even probably ready to date when they were senior. I knew 13-year-olds dating 16, 17-year-olds, 14, 17, 18. This was 80s and 90s. Yeah, I mean, you know, hey, you're 14 and haven't had 2 kids. What's wrong with you? Yeah, that is some middle-aged stuff. Molten Salt, why? What are you mad about? Because I'm trying to add context to it. I'm not just calling him a pedo because of some weird out-of-context videos. I mean, like, if they had sex when she was 14 or 15, okay. Even that, he's not a pedophile. He's a statutory rapist. But I don't think that... I don't know. Oh, you sound like a girl. Oh, okay. Fair enough. All right, I appreciate the clarification. Teenagers, yeah. Remember how there was an article 2 weeks ago that Bud Light said that they had gained half of their followers back, or they said that half of the people that boycotted them came back. That's what they said. No, not douche of the day. He was just giving me the business, not being a douche of the day. Like it was in mid-August they came out and said, "Oh yeah, we got like half of those people back. We got half those people back." No, they didn't. Bud Light sales still down 30% 6 months after, and ultimately, you have a situation now where these people. And the weird thing is, like, I don't understand why they think that people were going to come back. Like, for me, beer is I'm not a beer drinker, but I imagine it's very similar to cigarettes. Like, you have your brand. You smoke Marb Lights, you smoke Pall Mall, you smoke, you know, Durals. I mean, friends don't let friends smoke Dural, but like did Budweiser release another 9/11 commercial? I think that they and beer's the same way. You either have beer, you're If you drink Bud Light, you drink Bud Light. And if you quit drinking Bud Light, you have a new beer. If you switch off Marlboros and then you drink, if you go from Marlboros, you boycott Marlboros, you're never going back. You're just going to go to, I don't know, something else. That's how ingrained Marb Lights are to me. I can't even name other cigarette brands. Like Newports, but those are for chicks. And Newport menthols. Chicks and wankster guys. Oh, Camel, yeah. Camel's another one, yeah. You go to Camel's then. Go to Camel Blues or whatever. But Bud Light sales still floundering. You see Bud Light is just stubbornly down around 30% in volume compared to last year, which is where it has been since May or June. This tells me it's actually quasi-permanent, meaning those consumers are now lost forever. Schumacher remarks come less than a month after it was revealed that Anheuser-Busch-owned company had won back 15% of its boycotting drinkers, but it didn't. Virginia Slims are for chicks. Well, Virginia Slims are for elderly women. Them and like Misty 120s. Those are for old ladies. Newports are for chicks and black people. That's who smoke Newports. American Spirits were popular here for a while, but they've kind of fallen off now. Right, exactly. Durdurius. So I can't even remember why I'm boycotting Gillette to this day. Exactly. Like people don't go back. People don't go back. Like there's no coming back from this. I don't know why they started, even doing this. Like it's still coming up. David Wells. It was brought up in an interview yesterday. He was playing in the old guys game or whatever, old timers game for New York Yankees. And they're like, they asked him about Bud Light and he said, I'll never drink it again. Like, and then you have another famous person saying, oh, it just keeps coming up. And I keep saying that during the NFL season, you're going to end up with people now in the NFL. Like you're going to get these pictures of Bud Light lines at NFL stadiums that are completely empty. It's just not going. Consumers are lost forever. Bud Light sales remain 30% down since Dylan Mulvaney marketing debacle 6 months ago. As industry expert warns decline could be quasi-permanent. Bro, I knew, and you all knew, everyone knew it was permanent the minute it happened. Like, everyone knew at the time that it was going to be permanent. How about some movie news? Been a while since we talked about movie news. Superhero genre is, I think, almost officially dead. At least the idea that you can just pump out superhero movies and make $1 billion.
It is, but it's a lot of work.
Is gone. That era is 100% completely gone. Now, new rumors are coming out saying that Warner Brothers is not marketing Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom because they know it's bad. They know they'll lose money. Now, I don't know about this because I just saw a tweet saying that the new trailer comes out this week. The weird thing about Aquaman, I don't know how the original movie made $1 billion. I don't know. Was it any good? I think that Aquaman making $1 billion at the movie theater was just peak, like absolute peak superhero trash. Like people just consume everything. The rumor comes from Scooper Casey Walsh on X. This is via boundingintocomics.com. Responding to a question about why Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom trailer has not been released yet, despite the film set to arrive in theaters in just a few months.
Because
they know it's bad. They know it'll lose money. They aren't putting a marketing budget.
Calling in regards to your interest in the food production position here in Monroe.
A report from the Hollywood Reporters.
When will you be available for an interview?
The film underwent its third set of refilming since its finished principal photography in January.
Thursday, 1 p.m.
Two refilms took place between summer of 2022 and the beginning of 2023.
I'll send you the address. I'll just text it to you. It's right at the Wix plant office on Front Street.
Kit detailed an insider informed him that the third set of refilms were being undertaken.
All right, just make sure. I'm going to send you some instructions to what to bring with you, okay?
People don't like the movie.
So 1 p.m. Thursday.
I don't think there was anything truly offensive
Yep.
about the first Aquaman movie. I just think that nobody cared. Like, I mean, it was just that everyone was just going to see superhero movies. That's what they were doing. Let's not forget that old AH, you know, if this is going to reignite, there's a couple YouTubers that are desperate for this movie to come out because they made their whole identity Amber. But like, if this movie comes out and like, it's going to reignite all of that. I talked about this at the time. Every single tweet, every single Facebook post, every single YouTube video that they put out on this about this movie is going to be filled with AH hate bots. Like, look, I think that, you know, Amber's a garbage human. I think that is, you know, I think reasonably everyone agrees with that. I think still worrying about her now, years later, is weird. You know, but I know for a fact that there is a ton of people that do. Hundreds of thousands of people will flood every single post. Every single post, when they try to promote this movie, will be flooded with people bringing her up. The idea that the test screenings for the film are uninspiring was previously reported by Scooper's Viewer Anon, Big Screen Leaks, and Jeff Snyder back in February. Viewer Anon said, "I'll be honest, we're a half dozen test screenings in, and it's not looking great. I've constantly heard over the last half year, that it's so boring, not as good as the first, and potentially one of the worst DCEU movies ever." Big Screen Leaks would seemingly corroborate this claims, writing, "Here's a reason I've been avoiding any questions about Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, but since Viewer Anon put it out there, it brings me no joy to back him up and tell you that the test screenings for this film have not been
They are indoctrinated.
Really hope Juan fixes this movie before December. I don't really know how you can do that.
Fine.
Like, I don't know. And then they were the scoop right up a follow-up tweet. I heard that something that almost never happens in test screenings happened with this movie. They're really going to need to fix this one, and fast. Senator commented, "I hear it's terrible, and that's why Momoa is going to be Lobo going forward. But they can't say that yet because it would be a lame duck. And DC is hoping to wring another $1 billion out of the box office. First one was awful too, so no huge surprise." I don't know if it was awful. You know, I don't think that, you know, I don't think the movie was awful. As for the problem of the story clarity, James Wan seems to confirm that in a previous interview, the Hollywood Reporter revealed they had to make adjustments all along the way in order to adapt to the various visions for DC with the constant changing of leadership. Well, that just means the movie's going to be a disaster. I mean, I don't see a scenario where this movie isn't a complete disaster when you have had to change so much. The DCEU has been through a lot of versions, and one of the things that was challenging about this film was keeping track of what was even going on. While he admitted he was seeming constant changes to the movie because of the changes in direction at Warner Brothers, he also claimed that the Aquaman movies were detached from the DCEU, so these changes weren't really a big problem. Interesting. I mean, this movie made $1.1 billion.
Did it really?
$1.1 billion, but a lot of it was because of overseas stuff. And I think that the overseas, more than the U.S. market, the overseas market for United States superhero films has completely fallen out. Like, China used to account for like $300-400 million, maybe more. It was like automatic with Marvel movies, but that doesn't happen anymore. Plus, you have really good action films coming out of Bollywood too. These days, there's more international competition. Some of it matches or looks as good, in my opinion, as the MCU CGI, at least, maybe even better. So there's more competition now in global markets, and China's not seeing it. You know, I think that there was one action movie that made I think it was very well. Triple R was very popular. I know that. Now we know that, of course, you see this article. Amber's seen in Aquaman 2 trailer, despite rumors she's been removed from the film. I never heard that she was removed from the film. I mean, there were rumors of it, but why would you? You know, she shows up as Mera in the trailer. Of course, they can't get rid of her. Aquaman 2's reported production problems already seem lost at sea. 3 refilms, numerous at its poor screenings. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom has had a rough time of it. And this is on Gizmodo. So this is like one tier up above normal, like rumor mill stuff. And a lot of these sites are more like rumor mill, but Warner Brothers giving up on Aquaman 2. I don't know. I mean, if they give up on it, I don't know what that looks like. Here's the thing, if you market it, a lot of people don't know this. When they look at a film, it's like that has a $300 million budget. Usually there's another $300 million dedicated to marketing that movie. And if you don't market it, people don't see it. So you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. you end up with like, oh, the movie's going to tank in the box office, but I also didn't lose more money. Somebody somewhere probably runs those numbers and figures out, where is the break-even point, and when is it best to cut bait. I'm sure they're going to release it, but I mean, is anybody even talking about it? Now it comes out on Christmas, so there is time to do some run-up. I'm guessing that one possible scenario, one possible reason that you haven't seen much marketing for this film is they're waiting as long as humanly possible to let the Amber and Johnny stuff cool off. The appetite for Amber Heard bad content is not nearly what it once was, and they're probably just waiting because they know it's going to get review brigaded like crazy for everyone that hates Amber for good reason. Okay, but like, top cover, someone cleaned the fish tank. There's an Amber Heard floating in it. Yeah, probably. Now, if they would have cut her completely from the film, would that have changed how many people went to go see it? I don't know. Maybe. I don't have any interest in it, so it's tough to say. I think the more interesting conversation is the superhero genre, in and of itself, across the entire world. It's a dead meme now. The superhero genre is cooked, and they just went to the well one too many times. At least I think so, anyway. I mean, I just don't give a crap about superhero movies anymore. I don't care. I could even see chat like getting disinterested. I might not even release that as a standalone because I don't know if anybody cares about superhero movies anymore. Don't know. I don't. So did you play some Starfield this weekend? Ah, yes. More Starfield hilarity. Now the game itself looks pretty decent. And I think that, as I said in my other coverage about Starfield, I would almost certainly have this game on my list. It's just, I don't know, it's a Bethesda game. I'm going to play it. It's almost like the whole, it's a new Call of Duty game. Of course I'm going to play it. Or it's a new whatever game. It's a new Madden. I'm going to play it. I think it's a little bigger deal when Bethesda releases a new game. But, I'm certainly not going to play it at full price because I've got a full backlog of movies that I already played. A full backlog of movies are video games that I've already paid full price for and I haven't played. I think $70, $80 is too much money for a video game. And some of the stuff I've been hearing about, like Grand Theft Auto 6, now most of what you hear about Grand Theft Auto is baloney. Or was somebody said there was like $170, $150 price tag for it, something like that. I don't know. And I think that it's interesting. Now you see this article in Forbes. Starfield gets its harshest review yet. Bethesda game is small, a shallow ocean. This is from Eric Kane, who's usually pretty good over at Forbes. Oh, it's Jim Stephanie Sterling. Ah, yes, the guy who he's been a mainstay in the video game review world. Used to carry his opinion used to carry a lot of respect. I still like that. I still like his meme, like he does his wrestling and stuff like that. I just can't take him seriously anymore. I can't really put my finger on why, but I just can't. I can't take him seriously anymore. I can't watch his videos. But he usually was on the wrong side of video game reviews. But there's anybody out there
I heard that.
Really stand
They
anymore.
do.
Like Angry
And that's
Turtle
what
video
everybody's
reviews are
flipped
still
out about.
reliable,
Shit. They
but,
do
like,
that on
it's
our
so
fucking
insufferable on
applications.
Twitter and everywhere else that it's hard for me to enjoy them. I suppose Skill Up. Everybody
you're not
that's
gonna play
popular
a
in the
game
video game
because of
review
that
space are
stupid
all
shit.
like whinging.
Unless you're dealing with fucking Microsoft.
This may not come as a surprise. Sterling has made a name by becoming the industry's fiercest and most relentless critics. They rarely, if ever, pull punches, and sometimes, even when I agree with Sterling's broad take, I think they take it too far. Sometimes I sense real anger brewing in Sterling's content, and sometimes anger can blind us, such as, to some degree, the case with Sterling's Starfield review. There are many individual points I agree. I'm sure I could not give the game such a poor score. For all it gets wrong, it does much right. Sterling, who came out as non-binary in 2020, uses she/them pronouns. I wonder if they had an opinion about the pronoun stuff. They include social commentary at the outset of the Starfield review, writing, "To call Starfield the least broken Bethesda game is akin to calling any single TERF the least embarrassing fascist. I wonder why I can't take Jim Stephanie Sterling's reviews seriously anymore. Then again, given how ZeniMax and Bethesda seem to treat trans employees, that comparison may hit too close to home." I mean, that's... I don't know, like...
Oh, God.
Love, because it's a video game, and I love video games. This isn't
That's a
about
dude?
ZeniMax and Bethesda mistreating a worker.
Uh...
It's just about video game. to do, and it's hi there. I'm Jane Stephanie Sterling, and I love video games. Do you love video games? That's awesome because I love video games too. We're gonna talk.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I can't put my finger on why I don't take them seriously anymore. Anyway.
I can't put my
Best
finger on it.
observation is that the game feels like a shallow ocean. Starfield is a geographical sense big, but in many worlds are desolate, populated by the same terrain features, copied and pasted to such an extreme degree that each new planet feels the same as the last, and raw size means less than nothing. That is a take that I would say probably agree on. Based on people that Asmongold Gold said the same thing. I think that they could have done more with fewer planets and more to do on each planet, but maybe they intend to through DLC down the road. I don't know. Repetitious NPCs bumble around with little more than a handful of catchphrases to offer. Missions devolve into tiresome fetch quests. Space travel requires menus to get around because the planets seen from your ship's window might be JPEGs, and every cave is the same. The final score, 4 out of 10, 1 point lower than a rather less in-depth review from Paste, and 2 points lower than the Metacritic review score. Now, the Metacritic review scores aren't that great. A 6.4. What's interesting is if you look at Starfield, I suspect that it's probably even lower on PC. I wonder. I hate that I can't just switch between them. Yeah, 5.6 on PC. That's not good. A 56% because it's not optimized. And look, I have this excellent Meta PC. By the way, it's right here. I'll show you. I'm going to leave a link in the description. Use promo code TheQuartering. I'm sponsored by Meta PCs. They are veteran-owned, anti-cancel culture. They do custom builds. They do ready to go builds. My exact computer is right here on here. So I mean, you can get this. You can see what I have. I have an RTX 4080, a Ryzen 7950, 32 gigs of RAM, M2 SSD. So I could play this game. But I'm not a big, load screen simulator guy. I'm not a big, I don't care for that immersion breaking loading screen stuff. I can't do it. But a 5.6 PC score is pretty terrible. And, I suspect, that's on 4,600 ratings. See, this game's a joke. When you play Fallout or Skyrim, don't bother to even touch this boring piece of loading sim. Dialogue has no impact. Now, if you look at, to be fair, if you look at the Steam reviews, which are people that actually play the game, it's much better. It's sitting at a 7 out of 10, mostly positive. So I mean, this type of thing with 40,000 reviews, you can also look. I mean, there's 45,000 positive reviews, 16,000 negative reviews. That's not nothing. That's not nothing at all. And you have people. This guy do not recommend with 95 hours.
It was said.
That's the thing. Sometimes you buy these games. You set aside that you budget that money, so you're gonna play it whether you like it or not. And you're stuck with it. This game's hit or miss. I'm not sure what to think of it. Part of the time I enjoy it. In other parts I find myself bored and uninterested. The graphics are okay, but the gameplay feels old, and I find myself skipping through conversations. The exploration portion of the game is lacking. It's a space game where I don't seem to even travel in space. I use the map menu to jump light years away in a single load screen. I don't take off and I just appear and disappear. Yeah, I mean, I guess. You have someone here with 122 hours saying they recommend it. I did all the major quests. Most of the side quests in the major cities I played through twice, and all in all, it's good. They could have done with one planet what they've done with 1,000, though. Well, that's kind of the issue, right? I mean, then you have, normally you have situations where you can mod a lot of the stuff you don't like out about the games. Well, you see here, Veridark confirmed Nexus Mods, which is where you mod this game, is banning mods that remove pronouns from Starfield Character Creator, but it's also straight up banning users who for even uploading the mod in the first place. Now, mods are where Bethesda games go to get great. And you see this thing, what about this mod? No pronouns. A mod that removes pronouns from Character Creator. Okay, banned. It's interesting. It's you see this vibe bonding in the comics. In an escalation of ongoing controversy surrounding Bethesda's latest release, Nexus Mods founder Robin Dark One Scott has confirmed that the popular PC game mod hosting site will delist any uploads that seek to remove the option for players to choose their pronouns for their own personal copies of Starfield. Now, what I think is funny, these are the same people, by the way, who have been screaming for weeks about how pronouns are no big deal. Well, if they're no big deal, then why can't I remove them? It's because they know it's propaganda. They know that it's important to pushing their ideology. They know that having the stuff in the game is extremely important to them politically. They can't tell you that, but the way they act tells you everything. It's just a re-education, bro. Yeah, it's just reprogramming, bro. You see Nexus Mods update. We have made an official announcement that will stand against phobia and bigotry. The program has no room for hate. Any mods that promote this will be removed. We are winning. Yeah, okay. You see Lord Metalman. So I finally checked on this guy's claims once I got back from work. Nexus does not appear to have made a statement declaring such a ban currently, though I am seeing a lot of conversation in the matter on Steam forums. Also, this guy got banned. Here's why. Trolls are spreading disinformation about Nexus mods and Starfield. I suggest debunking these rumors before another controversy erupts. So people are saying that. And then you see, following a brief discussion among some of the forum's patrons, the thread was joined by Scott, who pointed to the site's official post regarding previous Marvel Spider-Man's Pride Flag controversy and then declared our policy on this sort of content is laid out in this post. Whether you continue to use our site based on this policy, it's up to you. Well, people were modding out the LGBTQ pride stuff in the Spider-Man game, and they didn't like that. They blocked people from being able to do that. It says, we don't want to and won't argue with you on this. Begins 2 separate paragraphs subsequently pointed by the site's founder. We've now explained our stance, and we won't be providing you a platform to distort our position in order to feed an irrational and paranoid narrative. Like I said, they gaslight, right? You're paranoid if you point out that this is politically driven. If this policy upsets you, they conclude, if we've broken some moral code of conduct as a business that you can't accept, please delete your account, bottom option, and move on as well. I mean, there are other companies that you can get mods from. You know, and I think you see the first paragraph says, paragraph Scott asserts that the site's policy is thus: we are for inclusivity, we are for diversity. If we think someone is uploading a mod on our site with the intent to deliberately be against inclusivity or diversity, then we will take action against it. So they banned removing it from your own personal version of the game, but it's definitely not a big deal, everybody. Stop being a bigot. Stop being a bigot. It's definitely not a big deal. Whether if you're new to the channel, you made it this far in this video, hopefully you'll leave a like on it and you'll subscribe down below. I would really, really appreciate earning your subscription or follow wherever you're watching it. And make sure you check out Meta PC's promo code DEQUARTERING to save as well. It's interesting. By the way, this stream has 2 sponsors. Field of Greens, big fan. I admit it. I don't make the best food choices. The CDC says I should eat 6 cups of fruits and veggies a day. There's 0 chances of me doing that. According to a massive study, people who eat healthier live longer, have less heart disease and diabetes, and have less cancer. That shouldn't come as a surprise to you. That's why I've been looking into Field of Greens, and I'll tell you why. Unlike other fruits and vegetable supplements, each specific fruit and vegetable in Field of Greens was medically selected to support specific functions like heart health, liver health, kidney health, immune system, and metabolism. I'll put it up on the screen here. Field of Greens works fast, and if you're like me, you'll feel healthier, have more energy, your skin and hair will look healthier, and maybe it can even help you lose weight. The biggest benefit is the better health promise, of course. Take Field of Greens, and at your next doctor visit, if your doctor doesn't say something like, whatever you're doing, it's working, keep it up, you can return it for a full refund. And how could you start it? I've got 15% off your first order, and you can get another 10% off if you sign up for a subscription. Visit fieldofgreens.com and use promo code TheQuartering. That's fieldofgreens.com, promo code TheQuartering. Also, beware the digital dollar, my friends, the digital dong. Up until now, the digital dollar, or CBDC, has been nothing but a headline. Right now, things are developing at a rapid pace. It started with a sweeping executive order from the Biden administration, and now central banks are even hiring for their development. Here's the thing. A digital dollar can be used to track your purchases, control what you buy, and even seize or freeze your assets. That's why it's critical you protect your money with precious metals like gold and silver. I partner with the top-rated precious metals company, Goldco, because they're a great company with an amazing reputation. Right now, they're giving you up to $10,000 in free silver while supplies last. Plus, all qualified callers this week receive a free Ronald Reagan silver coin. It's super easy to sign up using quarteringgold.com. Link is in the description. Go to quarteringgold.com. Protect your wealth, protect your retirement with precious metals. Don't let Biden get a control of all your cash. See all the reviews that they have. It's insane. Excellent company. Quarteringgold.com. What a wild, wild day. Weird, wild stuff, isn't it? Weird, wild stuff. Weird, wild stuff. What a great Monday. It was an interesting weekend. I've been, today we had a new hold on a second. NFL weekend, this, that, and everything. Lots of news. School started back up. Last Friday, I don't know if you missed it, I interviewed Roseanne Barr for about an hour on this channel. And also Amaranth, the world's most popular OnlyFans model. You guys hated that one, but you love the Roseanne one. If you want more stuff like that, and you want to, check out the channel, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Create a Rumble account. If you're just watching right now, you don't have a Rumble account, create one. Get involved in chat. I want to see new people in chat. If today's your first stream, let me know. Say hi in chat, because I want our stream to be rapid, fun, rowdy, all this kind of stuff. And make sure you leave a like on it. And then if you haven't yet, below the video, there's a green follow button. If it's green, you're not following. So make sure you click that follow button, and that will help you actually find my channel. I'm live every day from 12 to 2. And I hope that we can, grow the show in the coming weeks as things kind of calm down and we settle into the fall content cycle, things like that. It'll be good. You seem way too nervous with her. Well, I mean, it was Roseanne Barr. I was nervous. Am I going to play Assassin's Creed 6? I don't know. Probably. I like Assassin's Creed games. Hug Hugo, the guy, say hi to you. You keep gold in your prison wallet, Cole's towing. Well, I mean, that is a spot to put it. That is a spot to put it. RT, oh, your favorite RT is now Hell Let Loose. Oh, nice. Yeah. Oh, Rowdy is your new puppy's name? Shout out to new puppies. All right, so make sure you follow me, and if you want to be an absolute hero, you can hit the join button, which you'll get monthly members only video from me. You get access to my locals posts. If you at least follow me on locals, it's thequartering.locals.com. And at least follow me over there. But if you click the join button and you support, it's $5 a month. But it goes towards supporting our team. We're a full team. We've got 2 full-time video editors plus a full-time graphics designer, and it definitely helps a ton. So I hope that you're doing that. Hope that you'll consider it. So that is today's show. I've got 5, maybe 6 standalone videos for you here on Rumble coming up, and I've got to edit. And tomorrow we'll be back in 22 hours. We'll be live again with all of tomorrow's news. Hope to see you there. Make sure you click that follow before you go. I'll be back here at noon tomorrow. Can't wait to see you. Have a good one.
Hey, Ned, can I speak to Heather, please? No.
We're going to be taking a look at a video out of Daytona Beach. The department is headed by Chief Jakari Young, and we have a few stories coming up about him.
You might have seen this video on the unlawful gun arrest.
All right, I'm just curious what this guy was talking about.
Well, right now, these 3 are about to get into a powwow and figure out what they can charge the man. Sergeant Sears on the left, Kevin Allen on the right, and Lieutenant Harris is now walking up from the white SUV. These guys may be looking up statutes, trying to find out what they can charge him with. I was able to get in front of Lieutenant Harris while he was working a special detail, either on overtime or maybe even a flat rate. But he declined to answer any questions. However, when the lawsuit's filed and depositions are made, he is going to have to answer some of those questions. Let's take a listen.
It says, I guess you can carry in your yard, but if you do it in an aggressive manner within sight of the public or something?
No public. It was just you.
Well, yeah, because he wanted to dictate where he was going, and it wasn't me. He's talking about Anthony. I think Anthony set him off.
Get the dog.
which kind of is, but Anthony is the shift supervisor, so he works for him too.
He's telling me to come get this dog, screaming at the top of his lungs.
Yes, it's African American.
Take it easy. I walked over. He's got his gun on.
He's aggressive. He's mad at the dog, but you're coming up, and he's like this.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like he was going towards you, or well, you don't know. You don't know. I thought it was with concealed carry in the yard or something like that, or.
And the one thing I found.
My interactions I always record my interactions in the office just because of situations.
Nope, wake up, Sergeant. It's legal and lawful.
So why would I say anything that would make me look bad?
So if that SUV looked familiar, look at this one. That's Lieutenant Harris.
Yeah. He could come talk to me tonight too. That's
what's
fine.
up,
Guess what?
LT?
I'll have my body cam on again.
Oh man. What's going on? And I had you on my videos today. Oh,
did you?
Yeah. Oh, I don't want to see your face. No, you should. It was a guy that got arrested for a gun over at his house over there on Wild.
Yeah, he was. I think it was. He was saying, "Well, I'm going to go work in this area," and I was like, "No, well, you don't decide
veteran
that." I
doesn't know
said,
that you can carry a firearm in your front yard.
"Decides that. And you go where the needs are."
They're
He said,
looking
"Well,
good.
this is where I
You know
work.
the law
If
now,
I can't be over there,
you know the law?
no point in me being here." I said, "Well,
No, you. Do you?
that's always a choice."
No, you, sir.
I remember saying that to him.
Do you know the law? I want to know if you know the law. Do you know the law?
Have a good day.
No. Do you know the law?
No, I said that's always a choice, and guess what? You're the
You have a good day, but do you know the law? And I don't need this food. He runs. How many miles you run a day? Too many.
Man, I wish I could run too many miles.
Listen, LT. Listen. This is how many miles. How
I
many
mean,
miles
he
you
ended
run
up
in the
being.
morning?
I mean, it ended up working out to where he was going to
What was
be in
your-
that
what's
spot,
his
but I don't know where Anthony.
Yeah,
I don't take him out the line. Anthony does because I don't know where their
We
needs
gave some
are.
information.
I mean,
So
I
you
can
know
go
the
there
law
and ask
now?
them every day, but
You know the law?
it's always
Come
hard
on,
to find them out on the
LT. Just say yes. What does Kevin Allen
I
have
just
on?
was, I always tell them, hey,
What does he have?
when you're ready to
Punches
start
a
looking for
67
people, I'll have them waiting here at the picnic table.
I want to know what
That's
Kevin
what I do.
Allen
I make them wait. I mean, I
just wanna
check
know
them
what
out,
he
make
has.
sure they got boots
It's
on,
not
make sure they have
entertainment. It's a serious
glasses.
question.
I tell them,
He can
you know what,
punch
if
a
you need a locker, come tell me what
67-year-old.
locker you're in.
He can lie on an IA. He can choke a guy with
And then I always tell them
shirt.
too, I was like, you punching and signing out of
You
the
don't think that's
line.
what
I was like, you know, if you end up punching in after 9:30, I said,
No, I just want. I want
because it's your
peace
first
and
day, you'll
justice.
get
That's
paid
what I
as of
want.
9:30.
Oh my God. Our cases get investigated. We have a process. So
Oh, you have an IA.
That's
That's an IA
fine.
going on. That's right. So yeah, you can't talk about it. I respect that.
That was actually one of my. I had a much worse interaction the day before.
But
I'm
you know
surprised
the
we
law,
haven't heard anything about that yet.
Do you know the law?
not going to entertain you. That's it.
How long do we stay here and say, do you know the law?
No, I was like one of the new people that showed up at 10 after 10 and was flipping about it. I was like, you know, and they actually still need pay line out. So I was just like, hey, are you new?
I tried to.
He's like, yeah. And he's like sitting by the new machines where you get like guards and all this crap. And he was standing with two other people that I knew
remember the street now when I look at the GPS.
had working there for a while. I'm like, well, it's
All right, I'll do
it's 20 after 10.
Yeah, that
We're
one. I
supposed to be
think
here
that
at
one's a good
9:30.
one
I
too.
said,
You know,
"I'm
it's a
in here
crazy
for a minute."
situation. I showed him the
So
video. I
I
showed a
was
couple of
heading
people,
into
and
the
they're like,
office, and
man, what
he
is
goes,
going on?
yeah, in a minute, and he walked away.
I got the weirdest text the other night.
I was like literally dumbfounded. I
I
said,
was really turning their
"Excuse
back
me?"
on me when I come up and talk to him.
He's like, yeah, just a minute. I'm trying to figure this thing out. I was
You
like, I
don't need
don't
to.
know
It's
if
I'm
you're
just
able,
asking a
you have
public
the
servant
ability to
that's a
use that thing
lieutenant.
yet. If you're even
You know the law
registered,
now.
if it's your first day, you need to come in here and get checked in. He's like, I told you I'll be there in a minute. I said, tell you what, your ass could go home. I said, you're almost an hour late. I said, and you don't seem to give a shit about it. So I said, you can just go home. So well, then the guy that he rode
No,
with,
no, it's not. He was
that
suspended for a
standing
week
with him,
from his job.
jumped
They
in.
called DCF on
He's
him
like, oh, he's late
to try and get
because
his
of me.
ass
I
in
said, well,
trouble
you're
with
late
something
too.
else. And I'm just like, what in the world is going on? And,
He's like,
and I
well,
don't-
that's
I mean
kind of
that serious
bullshit.
when I bring that to
I
you.
said, no,
This-
what's
I may
bullshit
not
is the
publish
way
this
he
video, but when I
responds
see
to
a
me when I
person
asked him to step
grabs the
inside so I
shirt,
can get him
twists
checked
the
in,
shirt
get him
up like
working.
that, and he does that to a
I
person.
said, I said I was pretty forgiving
case
about how
was there.
late you guys
And then
were.
you
I
see
said,
another thing
until
with a
you
guy
got to
with a
jump in this
black eye, and
too.
it says he
I said, and then if you think what he, you know, the way he's
And then
acting
what
is
he does
fine, I
to
said,
you,
you can go home
know,
too.
he's goofing with me at the boat ramps, but when
You
he's
know,
off
and then
duty,
some girl was
and
with him,
another
and she
complex,
jumped in. She's like,
what
"Oh,
is
this is all bullshit."
I know you
I'm
won't
like,
answer, but I just
I
want to
said,
know.
"You
I'm
want to
like,
join
what
up?"
does this guy have on?
I don't give a shit.
On City that he doesn't have.
I know. I was just like, I said, you guys are like,
I'm not gonna get anything
you
from
guys,
you.
I
just
mean,
wanted to
those
know
two
that-
were only like 10 minutes late because they work at the 10:10 line. But they, you know, they're like, well, we told them that we told them, you know, during orientation.
No,
that-
Form 78 wasn't
you know,
sent when he
that
lied on
our
IA.
I'm like, yeah,
You
but
can't
they
lie to
tell you
me.
to be here at 9:30. I said, if your ride can't get you here at 9, I know you guys. I said, if you guys can't be here at 9:30 on your first day, I said, then you got to figure
That's a lie.
something else out.
That's a lot.
I said, that's when we count at it. I said, I'm on the floor for most of the night after 9:30 because I'm like, well, no one else is going to show up. And we make sure everybody else, all the other new people
bothering you
are
anymore.
okay.
790.25 subsection.
And then I come back. I mean,
just
literally
wanna know you were there.
10:20,
You on my
which is like
video?
10 minutes before I leave.
I do a pretty good
You know, I go to my office and put everything away, and fucking blow up. I was there like
Yes, you keep up the good work.
10:35, and because I had to go out there and tell Anthony, I'm like, "What? Two of your normal people walked left." He's like,
You want to stand by here?
It's pretty much insubordination. I said, "Man, you guys too."
You get your rate.
So then that girl personally called Mo, the third, the pink line out supervisor,
or
and
they
said,
play a flat rate.
Of course, had a completely different story. And told me and then said that I fired her. I was like, no, I told you you'd go home. I didn't say you were fired. And I even told her it was her choice. I was like, you go home or you need to get out to the line. I said, you guys are already 10 minutes late. So then I was explaining that to Mo on Thursday, and he's just shaking his head. He goes, yeah, that is not what I heard. I said, dude, and I just pointed the bike cam on me. I cover on my own things. I'm like, I said, I can be blunt with them sometimes, but it's only when it's in response to something stupid. So, all right. Yeah, I mean, especially if I'm alone in the office and there's a female in there and that she says I said something, you know what? Yeah, screw that. I'm not going to be he said she said bullshit. I'm gonna have a recording of it. So, all right. Well, I just wanted to check and find out. None of my freaking appointments showed up today. So.
If you were on a call, I'd be filming like, all right, right now they're doing this. If you come up to me and you're like, hey, you can't film here, I'm gonna turn the camera and be like, what are you talking about?
No, that's what I figured.
That's it. But
yeah. And in fact, I think Monica might have even been there when that happened because she popped in for a minute to pick something up out of the office. Or go corporate. I don't care. Let Cheryl be confused about it. Yeah. That's fine. All right. Well, I'm the thing is, as far as the workers there go, 90% of them respect me because I don't pull punches, but I'm straight with them, and they know I'm not going to bullshit them about things. But then there's the 10% that want to be bullshitted too. So, right. Well, that's not how it used to be. I'm like, well, it's not the same as it used to be. This whole world's different than it used to be. All right. Well, thank you. I just wanted some clarification. Bye. Sorry, guys. I missed that whole video, but Jay Madison, so we'll give him some play there. Anything else drop? Yeah, but he's a sheriff in a completely different county, isn't he?
What's going on? It's Soliak here. And I'm really hoping this sheriff is a man of his word and he really does do the things that he says he's going to do.
I doubt it.
So, the deal.
Everybody's jumping on this. I stayed away from it over the weekend.
And leave a comment down below and tell me what you think this sheriff.
I did watch a couple of James Freeman's videos.
So, let's get into this video. I'm out. Soliak. Dude.
Once I read a short statement, I will answer some questions. As we all know, Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham issued an emergency temporarily suspended open and concealed carry laws for the next 30 days in Bernalillo County. Let me start by saying I'm holding this press conference and to answer many other people's questions, not only on social media, but directly to my phone. One, this is not grandstanding, nor is this to bring attention to myself. We must always remember not only are we protecting the Second Amendment, but at the same time, we have a lot of violence within our community. Let me be clear. I hold my standards high, and I do not or never will hedge on what is right. And I take my oath seriously. In reference to concealed carry and open carry, the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office will not enforce this segment of the order. While I understand the urgency, the temporary ban challenges the foundations of our Constitution, but most importantly, it is unconstitutional. My oath was to protect the Constitution, and that is what I will do.
Good for you.
The governor made it clear in her press conference. She knew we as law enforcement did not agree with the order, and as a result, this was solely her decision. Other than this ban being unconstitutional, Here are other reasons why I will not enforce the order. One, what many forget is I have enough violence here in Bernalillo County. I do not want to have political violence towards my deputies here in Bernalillo County. My job is to keep the peace and to make sure that the citizens of Bernalillo County.
So he doesn't want political violence.
Do not believe that this
So he
order will
thinks
help me do so.
lawful gun owners will
I'm a
do
law
that.
enforcement professional. This order will not do anything to curb gun violence other than punish law-abiding citizens from their constitutional right to self-defense. Let me give you a personal story. Last week, as I'm sitting here as the city sheriff, I get a phone call that my brother also was a victim of gun violence last week that many of you do not know. While he and my nephew were sitting in their car, they were shot at and their vehicle was impacted by numerous rounds. How can I, as a sheriff, tell him to put his firearms away and not be able to protect himself?
How can anybody do that?
Criminals do not follow the law or a public health order. Never seen it, we will never see criminals follow the law. Once again, this only punishes law-abiding citizens. What I also want to address is what we're doing on the gun violence here in Bernalillo County and helping in the state of New Mexico. It is quite irritating for me to see how this 30-day ban completely overshadowed the robust conversations that we had with the governor in the office on what we are going to do to curb gun violence and for people to stop being victims. We had arguments. Again, we had solutions. We had an 11-year-old that was senselessly killed, but there are also many other numerous victims of gun violence, not just here in Bernalillo County, but our nation. A couple of things that I will be asking to do as we get serious. I will take your questions, but let me tell you what we're going to do because we do need to not overshadow what we need to do to keep our citizens safe. I'll be asking the crime reduction director for our agency, the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office, to lead a task force of various law enforcement agencies to focus on crimes with firearms.
Crimes with
I will
firearms.
have continued meetings for early intervention of not only adult, but youth offenders. I am respectfully requesting, as an elected official, to please consider a special session to specifically address crime, not just in Bernalillo County, but for the state of New Mexico. We need to look at solutions to address violent crimes involving juveniles with firearms, adults with firearms, pretrial release, harsh state penalties for violent crimes, which also involve a firearm. Collaboration and planning will and continue with the Mayor of Albuquerque, Tim Keller, Chief of New Mexico State Police, Troy Weisler, Chief of the Albuquerque Police Department, Harold Medina, and District Attorney, Sam Bregman. I will also be contacting federal entities such as the FBI,
Okay,
and
Josh.
the attorney, to assist us and make sure we work as a team to curb gun violence and so many other crimes that we see in Bernalillo County. At this time, I will take some questions.
Yeah, we share. Heads up about this order, and while you say you won't be enforcing it, do you even see a realistic way?
The governor, to her credit, just gave us a head up minutes before the press conference. We expressed to her that we do not agree with it. That's why she did mention in the press conference that she knows we weren't on board, nor did she draft it. Is there a realistic way to enforce this order? No, there is not, because we'll cut that conversation off because it's unconstitutional. There's no way we could enforce that order. Other than the early intervention program that the Mayor of Albuquerque and the Albuquerque Police Department do, I've had a lot of conversations. I have one today at 2. And that's a lot of programs to address the violence that we're seeing within our youth. If you've seen the news stories that even your station has covered, they're 11 to 18. What can we do to early intervene when we see someone with a firearm or that is on social media or any type of getting attention that they're going to use a firearms in a crime? Even if they used a firearm in a crime, That's why
That sounds delicious, Conk.
penalties. We need to look at the JPO and child code also. I can't have two 16-year-olds charged with a firearm using the commission of a homicide or something else, and we have a problem that they might be out on an ankle bracelet and being released to their parents. I understand, and everyone and all the naysayers will say their brains aren't developed. I totally understand the science and everything behind it. But then again, like I've been stressing so much with violent repeat offenders, I cannot have even juveniles in our community threatening and killing them.
And Sheriff, why do you think the gun violence got to this point, and what gives you confidence that you can stop this?
You know what? Why the gun violence got to this point, I think we've been ignoring a lot of things for a long time, and that's by not holding people accountable. I understand early intervention. I understand diversionary from the criminal justice system, but at the same time, if you catch them at an early age, you can see the trend. One of the reasons I started the animal cruelty unit also, when you see a trend in flags
Sounds that way.
and escalating violence with age, that's something not only intervening, but we can't stop saying some people need to stay in jail that are violent when they're hurting the community, and we know for a fact that they're going to go back into the community and they're going to recommit the same crime over and over again, and eventually and unfortunately it leads to a homicide. Why do I think that these ideas that I brought forth will work? Because finally we're going to work together, and that's just not with federal entities. That's easy to say to bring the feds in. That's what's working with the mayor. That's what's working with the chief of state police, Albuquerque Police Department. This is teamwork. I'm making sure that since I'm here at a press conference, I'm taking a responsibility as a sheriff to make sure that we're the lead of that task force, to make sure that things are done and we are held accountable as an agency if they're not. This will take time. There's no quick fix or a magic wand to this because this has been going on for so long. We have to start somewhere, but we have to do it right. You know, all the above. I don't have any statistics on ghost guns. I know they are prevalent with around the bars in Bernalillo County. I've seen a couple of cases. And the first part of your question?
The second part is an issue of less so guns and more a societal issue around values.
You know, all the above, and I would say that. I mean, a lot of people are going to be angry. People that live in northern New Mexico, where I serve as a New Mexico State police officer that hunt with their family. I understand that. I think it's with values and also teaching gun safety. Let me be very clear for people that are either against me or for me. That's why I sat with Representative Pamela Herman in House Bill 9 for gun safety. I really believe those laws will help and work, and sure enough, we've seen 2 to 3 cases in the state to where that law will be applied because that gun was not secured properly. That's something that we have to discuss, and that's part of the value of teaching a young person to be safe and to be responsible with the firearm. All of the above, and that's me where I stated respectfully requesting. That's the power of the governor, not mine. As an elected official, I have the chance and opportunity to do that. I would really love us to focus on crime bills to where nothing becomes convoluted or distracted, to make sure that we address all the issues that we see as a community. We do need to address the juveniles with firearms. I can tell you, and I can't speak for the stats of the Albuquerque Police Department, what we're seeing, as you see in the station you cover also, all of the juvenile crime that we have with firearms, and that firearms are prevalent within our community, but what do we do when we catch people with the commission of a crime? We have to be harsher with those sentences, specifically if they're using those firearms in conjunction with a homicide or another crime such as well. Back here. What this means for Albuquerque is I think the statement is, and everybody around the nation is going to want me to be very confrontational with the governor, and it's a me against her. It's not. We still work as a team. We don't agree on this at all. This is unconstitutional, and like I said, I uphold my oath seriously. As far as meaning for Albuquerque specifically, I am putting everybody else, including every other politician and everybody else as a leader within a law enforcement entity, to jump on board and work as a team. I said this last week. There was an article, and I wish this gentleman would email me. He says the mayor, the sheriff, the AGs, the chief, they all have their own separate press conferences. I read all these editorials. What are they going to do together? That's why in the press conference when I was with the governor the other day, I said, we are all here. Bernalillo County is a problem. State of New Mexico is a problem with firearms. What do we do to stop the infiltration that are being used for violence and firearms? What can it do for Albuquerque? Show that there's a collaborative effort to stop the gun violence. That's all that we can do. Like I said, there's not a magic wand. There's not one solution. There's a myriad of solutions, and I can't be the only one coming up with them. That's why we have to work together. That's a quick answer. We're not enforcing it.
This order.
Sheriff, you mentioned you're going to be calling for a special session with the governor. I understand this news was spoke by Monday morning. Have you heard back from the governor yet? Once this week has been released, that they would like to see conversations at all?
No, I have not. A lot of people ask me how I feel. I mean, shocked and irritated is all I had for the weekend. I have to turn in my irritation and my anger into solutions. That's something I have to look at very seriously with the oath that I took in January 1st of 2023. But on that anger, what do I do for the citizens and constituents of Bernalillo County that I serve? That's where my drive comes from. I will be speaking with them. We have a relationship where we've always been collaborative. Yes, this was a completely different avenue and a different road that was taken on Friday. That's something that we're going to have to figure out how to work to make sure, not just with her, but with all the other leads of law enforcement agencies on what we can do with constituents.
And Sheriff, this ban definitely made headlines, but after 30 days, everything will get accomplished.
If the ban is in effect. Like I said before, and I'll be very, very blunt with this and very straightforward, this ban does nothing to curb gun violence. We're taking away firearms from law-abiding citizens in Bernalillo County, which is extremely violent. How do they protect themselves? That's their constitutional right to bear arms and to be able to defend themselves. That's why I gave a personal story of my brother. How do I call my brother and tell him, you can't carry a firearm, but don't worry because your brother's the sheriff, he's got you. That's not true. I'm delayed in my response. What does he do when something is rapidly evolving to protect himself? I'll take 2 more questions. Great, thank you.
You shoot a cop's dog. When their dog gets shot,
the dog got shot through the back. He had internal injuries. We were trying to fly him out, but upon trying to fly him out, then he went into cardiac arrest.
it's medevac choppers and animal cruelty charges. But when your dog gets shot by them,
Can we take him to a vet, please? Can we take him to a vet?
Ma'am,
please.
You're not going to be able to help us.
Hey everybody, it's James Freeman, and today's video is coming to us out of Clayton County, Georgia, where a 17-year-old shot and killed a police dog. We all seen tons of stories and videos about police shooting our dogs, but today we're going to take a look at this story where the tables are turned and see if there's maybe a double standard. The incident began over the weekend when police got a call about some suspicious persons around 2 a.m. at or near a QT gas station. Police arrived, made contact with 3 individuals, demanding ID from all 3. It's unknown at this time whether or not the police actually had reasonable articulable suspicion for a detention and to lawfully get ID.
Basically, they wanted to make contact with them and find out what's going on. Once they got their information, all suspects ended up running away.
Reports claim that all 3 individuals gave up their IDs, and then after being run through the system, all 3 individuals decided to run. Reports didn't say whether or not any of these guys came back with warrants when they were run through the system, just that they ran after their names were given. So the 3 individuals ran, police gave chase, and sent a canine dog after one of them, 17-year-old Stephen Ford. Stephen Ford turned and shot the police dog. Now let's see if the protocol is the same when you shoot a police dog as when police shoot your dog.
The dog got shot through the back. He had internal injuries. We were trying to fly him out, but upon trying to fly him out, then he went into cardiac arrest.
Police attempted to use a medevac chopper to evacuate the dog to save its life. So after Ford shot the police dog, he did get away, but he was wanted by police for aggravated assault and aggravated cruelty to animals. Now I know what you're thinking. James, of course if police shot your dog, they'd be charged with animal cruelty. And of course they'd call a medevac chopper to come and try and save your dog's life. Within a matter of minutes, I was able to find dozens of stories and videos of police unnecessarily shooting people's dogs. However, I've been unable to find even one incident of a cop unnecessarily shooting a person's dog and being charged for animal cruelty. Or any other criminal charge for that matter. One of the most recent incidents was in Ohio when a Lorain police officer shot and killed a yellow lab in front of the owner and all of the neighbors. The entire neighborhood knew and loved these dogs and demanded that the officer be charged with animal cruelty. This happened about a month ago, and today, still no charges have been filed.
Get back! Get me a bunch of cars out here. We got a bunch of people coming out. Get back!
Surprisingly, a medevac chopper was not called in to try to save her dog's life.
Why did you do it? Okay, your dog charged. Get back.
The department gives worthless lip service.
I want to offer our condolences to the Kearns family, okay? Regardless of the situation, they're dealing with a loss of a family member.
But the officer still hasn't been prosecuted. The officer claims that he shot the dog because he feared for his safety when it was running towards him. When I reached out to the department to ask if it would be okay for me to shoot their dog if I fear for my safety, they never got back to me. Now, as far as getting medical help for your dog like they do for their own dogs, remember this video out of Loveland, Colorado a few years ago where a police sergeant shoots a puppy because he's scared? Even after the dog is shot by the officer, look at the way he treats the victims when all they want to do is save the puppy's life.
Get back to the truck!
You just made my baby! Why did you have to shoot him? Why is a puppy?
Get to your truck! I didn't know that!
He's a puppy! Can I see him?
Get to the truck!
Please let me see him! Please, oh my God, let me see him!
Get in the truck!
Oh my God, please, let me see him! He's
Ma'am,
dying.
just get back to your truck.
If he's dying, let me see him. He's dying.
Okay, okay.
Oh my God, can I call a vet?
Ma'am, get away. He will bite you. He's hurt. He will bite you. He's hurt.
I thought you killed him!
He will bite you. He's hurt.
Jay!
Sir, tell her to get away. He will bite her. He's hurt. Maybe you ought to have your dogs in your truck then.
Can we take him to a vet, please? Can we take him to a vet?
Ma'am,
Please,
you're not going to be able to help him.
please let me take him to a vet.
You're not going to be able to help him.
Please, sir.
You're not going to be able to help him. I need you to stay there.
Listen, he's okay. He's gonna be okay. I want to take him to a vet, please. Where did you get him? In the head and in the chest, in the side. Let me.
If he's still alive, let us take him to the vet.
Please, let me take him. He's okay. He's gonna be
Just
okay.
stay there.
He's gonna be okay.
Wait for me to get some more help and we'll help you,
He's
okay?
gonna be okay. Please let me take him. Frankie, it's okay, baby. God, I can't believe you. Why did you do that?
I don't know, because he's running after me like he's going to bite me?
He's a puppy.
I don't know that. Do I know that? Do I know that?
Oh my God.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for telling me how to do my job. Just stay there.
Although he's being sued for this incident, the sergeant was never criminally charged for it. And just a year later, he ended up being involved in the arrest of Karen Garner, a 74-year-old woman with dementia. In this incident, two of his subordinates used excessive force while arresting a 74-year-old woman with disabilities, breaking her arm. He was the sergeant that signed off on the false police reports and failed to get medical attention for the victim who had her arm broken by his out-of-control officers. It was later found that he tried to hide his body cam footage from that incident in order to prevent an investigation into the incident. When they found his footage and began investigating, he resigned from the department. And then, of course, there was the horrific incident of animal cruelty in North Carolina carried out by Gastonia Police Department, when an officer tased a homeless veteran's service dog, causing it to run away and later being hit by a car.
Call your dog off. Call your dog off. Call your dog off. Call your dog off. Sir, call your dog off. Call your dog off. He just bit me.
The officer claims that the dog bit him while the dog is nowhere near him.
Call your dog off. He just bit me. He bit me. Call your dog off.
What the dog was trained to do is that when Joshua is in an extremely stressful situation or possibly has a panic attack coming on, the dog is supposed to lick his face to calm him down. As you see in this video, the dog jumps up onto the hood of the car to try to get to Josh's face to calm him.
You, Charlie. Call your dog off. Call your dog off. Call your dog off. Call your dog off. We need.
Sunshine later passed away when he was hit by a car while Joshua was in jail.
You, Charlie, Ton City. We need more units. We need more units. Hey! What are you doing? Somebody help me! Record! Turn around. Record! Turn around, sir. Help me! Turn around.
Okay.
The two officers involved in the incident,
Not sure how Carrie's the one who decides on,
who were cleared of all wrongdoing by their friends in internal affairs.
It won't be
but the
points
community has
against you,
been in
but I
uproar
think
about the incident
people
ever
are
since it
scheduled off like
happened
that.
back in 2021, causing Officer Sierra Brooks
All right.
to take to Facebook.
Believe me, if I
this
could, I'd
post.
pay you for it all.
Gastonia County people in such an uproar about that damn dog.
Yeah, I'll
getting
talk to her
chased.
about it, though.
But where was this same energy for the Gastonia officers that were attacked a couple days ago and almost lost their lives? I'll wait. The moral of the story is I'm not saying anybody should be killing anybody's dog, but clearly there's a double standard. When their dog gets shot,
the dog got shot through the back. He had internal injuries. We were trying to fly him out, but upon trying to fly him out, then he went into cardiac arrest.
it's medevac choppers and animal cruelty charges. But when your dog gets shot by them,
Can we take him to a vet, please? Can we take him to a vet?
Ma'am,
Please.
you're not gonna be able to help him.
back the blue until it happens to you.
Mm-hmm. Got some good videos on the weekend. Make sure I don't let me see anything. Oh, I didn't see that one. Did I even get a notification for that one? Riverside.
I have to say that in the last year in particular, and the evidence in Albuquerque and Bernalillo County.
Yeah, they played him, I think. They got him to come in just to chat with the girl. His mom was not happy. She's like, they played him. I said, I asked her, I said, any idea? She's like, who knows? Because I can't afford his bail. So she said, I said, well, I mean, he's a good worker. I said, even if we can't put him right at the same spot, I said, I'll take him.
Thank you, and I'll introduce everyone on the table.
But I got some interviews tomorrow for you.
Any more resource limitations
Yep.
conversations? We need.
I think you had your buddy over there too. If you could talk Carrie into lending him over here.
State of emergency to access different levers,
I don't know.
different resources, and different opportunities.
Yeah, I'll just send whatever new ones I get tomorrow over there.
So that's what's changed today, and we're going to keep doing this work very closely until we see dramatic additional productive changes in the state. What I have in the public health order is not agreed to by every member sitting at this table. So in this public health order, which is effective today, September 8th, which lasts 30 days. And then we'll, like all the other public health orders, we will either amend or renew or adjust, depending upon where we are. So effective immediately, no person other than a law enforcement officer or licensed security officer shall possess a firearm, either openly or concealed, within cities or counties, averaging 1,000 or more violent crimes per 100,000,
This is just her
and
talking.
more
I heard
than
all this.
90 firearm-related emergency department visits. So to put that in sort of a lane.
How will this gun ban in Albuquerque be enforced, and what will be the penalties?
So those are very complicated questions, and we are working with our Department of Public Safety and our own attorneys and the DAs. In this context, I've directed a civil order, so I basically suspended your ability to do that. In this context, we're likely dealing with misdemeanors, and so 4 misdemeanors, if you did it 4 times, is a felony. They're hard to enforce. What I would like to be able to say to the general public, that it's easy to enforce. They're all an automatic felony that go with automatic jail time. That would take a very specific change in the law that doesn't exist.
You too.
Here is that if everyone did it and I wasn't legally challenged, you would have fewer risks on the street. And I could safely to say to every New Mexican, and particularly those folks living in Albuquerque and Bernalillo County, I believe that you're safer for the next 30 days. We'll have to wait and see,
How?
but that would be basically it. Here's the example.
How are they safer?
And I don't think that APD could arrest anyone under the current situation because they can't enforce civil orders. So if you're out under this order, if it stands, so the state police aren't bound by those same issues and are required to enforce any of the public orders or emergency orders that I have the power to execute. So in having more police presence, assuming there's not a challenge, or there's a challenge and we win, we'd be the only place in America where that happened. So Holly, high bar, let's go. They could make that arrest on that misdemeanor. That's how it would be enforced.
All the examples you cited are crimes. Kids shooting at other kids, shooting from cars. So what's the value of the civil order? Why not just do better law enforcement?
Both. The value of the order is that it gives me 3 things. 1, it says it's a statewide issue and it's a message to everyone to start leveraging their resources and arresting people. 2, the jurisdictions come at this, including with the DOJ restrictions, differently, without the leveraging and the additional resources, arresting, and where do they go? We got to make sure that everyone is bumping up their services. It's a message to the Metropolitan Detention Center. It's a message to the HMOs. You better figure out treatment. We have been sort of stalled out, to your point. This order basically says, stop stalling out, and to your point, just arrest everyone. Well, I also have to have the ability, I can't arrest everyone. There are literally too many people to arrest. This would allow us,
If someone got a concealed carry from walking down the street, they're not going to get arrested.
I can make the point that maybe they should be. And this is the point. I'm willing to do anything and everything.
Why would they be?
In a shred of evidence-based effort. Because if you're not horrified that on any street corner in too many cities in New Mexico, there is someone with a gun sticking out of their waist or their belt. And I'll tell you, if you're a young person, you're not allowed to have a handgun.
It's a crime already.
I got it, but we won't be able to arrest all of them. So imagine, just in a perfect world, if this was upheld, it gives all of these police officers the ability to focus on the real criminals.
Last follow-up.
Yeah. But your point is valid.
You took an oath to the Constitution. Isn't it unconstitutional to say you cannot exercise your carry license?
With one exception, and that is if there's an emergency, and I've declared an emergency for a temporary amount of time, I can invoke additional powers. No constitutional right, in my view, including my oath, is intended to be absolute. There are restrictions on free speech. There are restrictions on my freedoms. In this emergency, this 11-year-old and all these parents who have lost all these children, they deserve my attention to have the debate about whether or not in an emergency we can create a safer environment. Because what about their constitutional rights? I took an oath to uphold those two.
Just avoiding trolls.
This growing problem without being bold, I've said to every other New Mexican, your rights are subrogated to theirs. And they are not, in my view.
Wait a minute, you're talking about crimes. There are already laws against crimes, so how are their rights?
I got it, but again, if I'm unsafe, who's standing up for that right? If this climate is so out of control, somebody should do something. I'm doing as much as I know to do.
Madam Governor, do you really think that criminals are going to hear this message and not carry a gun in Albuquerque on the streets for 30 days?
No. But here's what I do think. It's a pretty resounding message to everybody else in that community to report a crime, to tell us what's going on, to aid law enforcement, to do something different. How many of you have been told by a business or a citizen, it's all of you, by the way, that they call or they ask for help and no one will show up or do anything about a crime, particularly even a violent crime? How many times have you heard that? Once every day? 10 times every week? Well, I hear it every day. So if this encourages the public to help us create a safer environment, I'm in. And I don't have to be the only one talking.
So let's say this month goes exactly as you're hoping. You win any challenges to it. You get data that looks really good for the whole thing. What's after that? What would you hope to follow?
I would hope that data, if this holds and it works, then we make a decision whether we can remove the order if
This
the
holds.
public emergency and the epidemic is over. I bet it's not over in 30 days. So I would guess this group would ask us to modify, to use the data to identify additional strategies and
Is it
to
sample,
execute
you know?
order. But these are all things I can't answer yet. Again, the beauty for me is this is the power I have. It allows me to dictate to hospitals, although they're supposed to be doing it, but make it really clear, they have to report information to us about gunshot victims. And I think it's going to have a market impact as well. But if it doesn't, something else is coming. Enough is enough.
Yeah.
Enough is enough.
You mentioned that there's people at this table that disagree with the order. I'm just curious if anyone wants to step up and speak. What specifically do you disagree with?
Can I just do it? Yeah, I think and I'm going to thank Milan for his really tough questions. They're fair. It's the concealed and open carry. Because if we could modify that with evidence that suggests that you're safer if you do. But I can't in 30 days. If I can turn down the temperature, it's not illegal for a young person to have an automatic weapon, just a handgun. I can't arrest that person. If we tell the bad actors, and I realize it's a pinch and then some on responsible gun owners, I'm clear, it is. It's a sacrifice that allows everyone else to get their arms around a growing, significant problem. I'm not going to stop pushing on public safety until it's safe. And we keep fighting until every child, every family, every neighbor, every community, every city, every village is the safest possible
even David Hogue
in the state of New Mexico. Thank you
is
for being
against
here
this.
today. In New Mexico, let's stay safer.
Even David Hogue, who I completely disagree with. Impact employment norms. Hello? Yes. How can I help you? The one I'm hiring for here, yes, out of this office. We do have jobs out of our Dearborn office, though. Hello?
Why are you recording? Why are you recording? Who is? Where you live? I call the police. Right away. I'll call the police. We just got here. It's already crazy. Like, legit just got here. Oh, we got here.
Hey, Flawed, thanks for about the follow.
You need something? I don't know why you're shushing me and pushing me away. You're videoing our
What is it? This is part of their property right here as well.
Myself. Two.
I don't know why you're here. There's nothing to be videotaping, sir. Is there a reason you're here? This is a place of business. I know you're not saying anything, but I don't know why you're here. You need to please leave our property. There's no business for video.
Voice. Oh, that would be pestily. Right? Oh, moist critical? Okay. Say pestily uses that meme all the time. Say moist. I'll be right back.
Come back. No. Don't close it because I can't see. The slowest gate ever.
Oh, my goodness. Tree rat. I'm all squirrels. last week. No, I had 2 starts last week.
I can't disclose the information right now. He said, call the police and tell him that he came inside. And he said, call the police and tell him he has a gun. Wow, wow, wow. So, obviously, they called the police. So wait for it. What happened?
Too late for caffeine. Shoot, I drink coffee before bedtime. Before bed. But that's me. I'm weird. Oh shit! Here it is.
Sharing with the can back. I don't answer questions. I don't answer questions. I don't answer questions. What do you mean? I'm talking right now. Oh, like I said, I don't answer questions. I don't answer questions. You can see it. I don't answer questions.
And the AG1 has a bunch of natural stimulants in it, but I usually just have 1 cup of coffee now in the morning. I used to drink coffee all day, but then again, I drink tea, so that has more caffeine in it than coffee.
I mean, you can see. It's pointed at you. You can see it. Seriously. Oh my God.
Impact employment. I'm speaking. How can I help you?
It's not a gun. I'll say that. It's not a gun.
Sure. I'll text it right to you. The Toledo or you were doing first shift, right? First shift at the Telegraph location, correct? Okay, yeah, I'll get it right. Just send it to this number here. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll do that. That's fine. I mean, if you start tomorrow, we don't have to worry about that really till next week. But we'll try and get it done this week. All right. Yep. Yeah, I'll text it right to you. You're welcome. Bye.
Yeah, all over camera right here in Beaumont. Beaumont Police. Another one.
Maybe she'll be there tomorrow.
Supervisor is here. This is the supervisor. So this is the company, the people that called right here. What's up? Another one.
Is that a gun on you?
Yeah. I don't answer questions, man. I already told her it's not a gun.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out for you, okay? It kinda looks like a gun to me.
I don't consent to any searches or seizures. Hey, man.
Go ahead
Okay.
and set this down. I'm gonna
It's
set it down for you,
fall.
okay?
It's gonna fall, man.
I'm not gonna fall. I'm not pull away, okay? I just need to make sure from.
It's not a gun. You need to put me in cuffs, man.
You're detained, dude.
For what?
You need to make sure it's not a firearm.
You just have to check what is not a firearm.
Well, I'm gonna inspect it too, okay? Good job. He's being detained.
I don't consent to any searches or seizures.
All right. Do you see how that could be perceived, looking like a firearm to people? Have a seat.
You have ID on you?
I don't.
You don't have ID.
Fine.
You don't carry ID? No. What's the reason for that? I don't need to. You've been issued one by the DMV? And you are required to carry it.
Not when I'm in public, man. Only when I'm driving.
Well, we gotta make sure you can carry that.
There's an
taser.
ID
Do you have
card. There's an ID card and a driver's license. I said ID.
Yeah, I don't have an ID. I have a driver's license.
Okay, so one's issued for you. You are to carry it. Make sense?
Yeah, when I'm driving. I'm not in public, man. I'm allowed.
Correct.
I'm allowed to not have my ID. I mean, I don't need to carry it. I'm not doing anything illegal.
You have a permit to carry that taser?
I don't need a permit. It's a taser. It's not a gun. You need a permit.
Did you see how it could be perceived as a gun?
I can see that, yes.
Okay. What's
But
your name?
it's not a gun.
What's your name?
I don't need to identify, man.
What's your name?
I don't need to
Hey,
identify.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, I ain't gonna screw around with you. I'll take you to jail.
Why would you take me to jail?
Because you're being detained based on investigation of what could be potentially.
Okay,
Right?
but it's not a firearm.
What I'm saying is you do have to ID yourself. We have every right to stop and detain an ID based off circumstances. That makes sense.
It makes sense, but I haven't broken any law.
Hey, listen, if you're on probation parole, we don't know that. And if you are, you're not supposed to allow, you can't carry it, okay? But we don't know that because you have no form of identification to tell us who, again, let me talk. You're not telling us who you are. We need to identify and see if you're allowed to carry this.
Ask me if I'm on probation or parole.
Okay. Or you can lie to me. I need to know a name.
You have ID, or are you gonna tell us your name? If not, you're going to our court.
Okay, well, we need to ID you. You're gonna go with us.
We're gonna take you to the station and ID you.
I'm
Let's
saying,
go.
I'm saying sick ass fools right here, you guys. This guy's like, if you don't leave, I'm gonna find something in the peanut butter. It's this thick. Can I get your name, badge number on camera? And that's Rodriguez, and then that's D. Lynn or something like that.
You get out of the street, please, so you don't cause traffic. When you get hit.
Sick ass fools. So right there, this is the company that called. So he said, you can go to the station and get the call. He said to get out of here and don't do this in this city, he said. What the hell? I was just like, yeah, man. Yeah, sure. The He's like, if you don't leave, he's like, I will find something in the penal code to arrest you for. Why did I ID? Nah, there's something in my backpack. I told them that I don't consent to searches or seizures, and they found something in my backpack that says my name. What kind of shit is that, though? He said, I will find something to arrest you for. He was like, I could be taking you to jail. I could be taking your cameras for delaying our investigation. We're not IDing. But I'm doing you a solid. I'm not doing that. We got other calls to go to and all this other shit. And I was like, yeah, man, cool. And then he's like, I'm just asking you for a favor. If you can just go to Riverside and go do it over there. Don't do it here. What the hell?
Good Shepherd. I'm not hiring anybody today. Nobody showed up. We got a bunch scheduled for tomorrow, though, so we'll see. Got a bunch scheduled, they just didn't show up.
Yeah, violated my rights. Look at him over there running plates. He just went to every single car, started running plates. Seems to have found my car.
Yeah, that's in the AG1 that has drops, D3 and K2 drops. Zoom right in on the window.
Sick ass fool.
I like him better than SGV.
Thought he had important calls to get to. This guy's taking off. Sick ass fool. Gotcha, bitch.
Of FBI standing armies coming against another fellow American. Stay tuned. You're going to want to watch this. That right there is Nathan Hughes. Look at this.
No.
So emboldened. She would never, ever think about approaching this guy if she wasn't wearing that uniform, badge, and gun, coming with the FBI authority. Ever. Ever.
You are here. He's one of the owners.
Now we're going to learn a little something about this guy right here too in a second. Just stay tuned.
FBI.
You good? Huh? I got you.
Now you hear the guy talking? The guy talking is this guy right here. This guy's got his video camera up in the air. We're going to watch his angle in a second.
Hands off. Get your hands off. Get your hands off.
You hear him say, "Get your hands off me." Let's watch that angle right now.
Sir, please step
Don't
back.
get anywhere close to me.
Please step back.
But I'm not doing anything wrong.
I know you're not
Get
doing
away
anything
from
wrong,
me.
but please-
Don't get your fucking hands
Please
off
step
me.
back.
Get your hands off me. Get your hands off me.
Now, if you're recording police state operations, you are a hero. You're a patriot. He's actually doing the
No, I
guy,
haven't.
Nathan Hughes, a favor by recording this whole incident so that if something goes down, which it is going down, we've got documented evidence and we do not have to rely on the word of any law enforcer, any lying law enforcer.
Sir, stop right there.
It doesn't matter.
No, you don't
I'm
need
not
to walk
doing anything
into-
wrong. Don't get your fucking hands
You
off
don't
me.
need to walk
Get
into
your
where we're
fucking
arresting
hands-
somebody right now. Do you
It doesn't
understand
matter.
that?
Get your fucking hands off me. Don't touch me.
Now, here's this guy.
Step back here with me, man.
Look
Come
at
on, I got you. We're gonna step over here. I got him, boss. He good. He good. Come on. We good. We good. We good. We good.
No, we ain't good. We're in a police state and I'm recording and you're trying to bring me off the wall. I'm the watchman on the wall trying to show Americans what the heck is going on here. And you're going, no, we good. We good. Come on over here. Come on, stop recording. No way, dude. Stop being a compliant, bootlicking, leather munching order follower.
Fucking touch me.
Please stop
Don't
walking.
fucking
Please stop
touch
walking
me.
forward.
I got him. I got him. I got him. I got him. He good. We good.
Get the fuck
We good.
away from me. Don't touch me. Don't put
You
your
can
fucking
step back there.
Don't put your fucking hands on me.
We good. He good.
Don't touch
I got
me.
him. He good.
Tell somebody to secure his car. Want to get these keys and we're stuck. Hey, walk.
Don't
It doesn't
antagonize. Good for this guy. This guy's got cojones, man. That's what we need.
Hey, man, this is far as
Don't.
okay?
No.
You can't get close to him.
I could be right here.
Yes,
Don't touch me.
you
Stay
can.
right there. Please don't get any closer.
Don't touch me.
Sir.
Don't fucking touch me.
Hey, please. Hey, man, please don't go right here. Hey, sir.
Don't.
I'm gonna-
Don't touch me.
This
Don't-
is a
keep
crime.
your
What are these cops doing? These FBI agents, whoever they are, they're not even going to identify themselves. They have no identifying badges. There are no nameplates. There are no name numbers. There's nothing. They're not giving any kind of information. What are they doing right now? They're depriving of this guy of his rights under color of, hey, this is a crime scene. We got an emergency here. You need to step back. Emergencies and crime scenes don't trump individual unalienable constitutional rights.
fucking hands off me. Don't touch me.
Step back over there.
Don't fucking touch me.
Step back over there.
Don't fucking touch me.
Step back. There you go. Thank you. Step back. You're walking between our cars.
And what?
This
You're
doesn't mean
interfering with
shit.
the arrest. Yes, you are.
Interfering.
We're conducting
Why?
an arrest right now.
Hey.
What's the arrest about, boss?
Yeah.
That is his business, not yours.
Interfering. Obstruction. You're getting in the way of our investigation.
Oh.
Which badge number? You have to tell me.
I don't tell you anything.
Look at that. Look at the insolence. The insolence for American freedoms on his face. And you know what the irony is? That this guy who's coming against the cameraman's liberties is actually coming against his own liberties, because one day he's going to want to exercise some freedoms and people ain't going to let him, because he chose not to stand up for American freedoms. He chose not to stand up for his family's American freedoms, because he's out here doing the bidding of the man. Stay tuned. It gets worse.
I don't tell you anything.
Oh, you don't?
I
What's
don't
your
tell
badge
you
number?
anything. Bunch of drones. I don't have to tell you anything. I don't have to tell you anything.
All you put your fucking hands on me. This guy put his hands
Hey, who's
on me.
Philip?
What?
Which one's Philip?
Huh?
Where does Sean
He's not here. Hey, why did you put your hand?
What a bunch of punks, weasels, and cowards. This should infuriate every single American.
He said the keys are in the car. So if y'all want to like pull it
I'll
around
move
and
the
lock,
car.
and lock it and secure it.
I'll move it.
Okay, perfect. Hey, can you get the you guys over there? Sir,
Watch
do
this.
not stand close to that car.
What do you? Why?
Because I'm asking you,
I'm
sir.
allowed, but you're asking me. I'm allowed to go over there. I'm allowed to go over
I
there.
understand what you think you're allowed to do. Just please stay away from our people for a second.
I'm allowed. To
I'm
go
asking
over
nicely, man.
I'm
trying
allowed
to,
to
be cool.
go over there, though.
I understand that.
Okay.
I am asking you to stay away from it for a second.
And I'm saying that I'm allowed to go over there.
I'm not going to allow you to go over there by the
Why?
Because they're having a conversation with him.
That has nothing to do with me.
I know.
So I'm allowed to go over there.
Sir,
by law, I'm allowed to go right wherever I want to.
I'm trying to be cool, man. Guess what? Cool tyranny is still tyranny. Nice tyranny is still tyranny. Tyranny with a smile is still tyranny.
I'm allowed to go over there.
I know that. Please be cool.
This Donald Trump Jr. looking dude with an FBI and camoed vest on.
Okay. So if you know that and I know that, I can go over there and fucking videotape this.
Are they done yet?
Fucking pile of shit.
Yep. Yep.
Back up.
Back up. Why? I'm allowed to be right here.
Allowed. No, you're free. You're an American. You're not allowed. You don't need permission from the state to be somewhere. You know that you have a right. You have the freedom to be. Free men don't ask for permission. They don't need a permit. They don't need approval. They don't need authority. They don't need a grant. You just need to be men.
Fuck you.
FTP all day long. FTP. Now, in case you thought just for a second, no, we don't live in a place where we've got standing armies of people terrorizing other Americans on American soil. You got to be kidding. This is the land of the free, home of the brave. This right here was posted under the Hodge twins post of this secondary different angle shot where Hughes is getting arrested. And she says, I'm sure you guys won't see this. We will, and we will post it. And hopefully we'll get some traction on this. We also got arrested and raided by the FBI for you know what. At the end of the video, they cover my home security camera with tape and then proceed to laugh about it. Watch this. Imagine your house getting swarmed, your family getting swarmed like this. Guns drawn, orders being given and issued. This is nightmarish, guys. Man number one with a gun.
Yeah, vitamin D
Man
is the
number
shit.
2 with a gun. Man number 3 with a gun.
Yeah, I already played that LB.
Somebody else is driving up. Man number 4 with a gun. Oh, we're going to get behind the house, in front of the house.
FBI, we have a warrant. Come to the door.
Wonder if they did have a warrant.
FBI, show us your hand.
Look at this. I mean, it would only take 1 second for you to lose your life. They got their fingers on the trigger, guns pointed right at you, center mass. Anybody could freak out. Let's say somebody drove by and they had a bad exhaust and it backfired, and these guys with these itchy trigger fingers, hey, it's happened before. It's happened time and time again. Remember Daniel Shaver in that hallway that came to end? I'll never stop talking about him. Mesa Police Department have 5 guys deep inside the hallway with all their Kevlar vests on and their guns pointed at him, giving these rapid fire commands. And Daniel Shaver is trying his best to comply with all this. He stumbles a little bit. He tries to pull up his shorts. Boom. Daniel Shaver, no longer with us. That's all it would take.
Show us your hands. Hands empty, it's you. Raise your hands. Keep your hands up.
They have these people's lives in their hands.
Watch me. Keep it up. Turn around slowly. Take one big step backwards. Deborah, anybody else inside? No. Anybody else in the house inside you?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I counted 8 guys. No telling how many people are in the backyard. Just a swarm. Just this little band of troops. There they go. They're going to go in and ransack the house. I'm going to fast forward this a little bit. Oh, now. Oh, what's the deal with the camera? Look, they're so interested in transparency. Look, more people going into your house. Your house. They're going into my house. Watch, they see the camera. Oh, what's the deal with this camera? I got to hide my face. Oh, he gets out a piece of tape. Oh, man, we got to cover that because we're transparent, because we're the good guys. Do good guys cover up cameras? Do good guys unplug your internet? Listen to him laugh about it, too. Hey, nice shot. Yeah, now we can exact our tyranny and nobody's going to be any the wiser because we're not wearing body cameras. And even if we did, we're going to turn them off. So we're going to turn the surveillance cameras off because we're not the good guys. She says this happened about 2.5 years ago. This person said this is absolutely horrifying that American citizens would be treated this way. This happened about 2 years ago, she said. Did they arrest you locally or did they kidnap you by taking you to D.C.? She says locally. This is disgusting, man. This is disgusting. And that any American, conservative, liberal, Democrat, Republican, libertarian, it doesn't matter, that any American or any person anywhere would put up with this kind of treatment and these standing armies in this police state is disgusting. And that's why I make these videos, so that you can share these videos with other people so that we can keep this from happening. You have the right to record cops. They're your public servants. You are their public master. They have no right to tell you to stop exercising your rights. And when they do, they've deprived you of your rights under color of law. They have a U.S. code for that. That's 18 U.S.C. 242. And they're also conspiring against people's rights in violation of 18 U.S.C. 241. Look it up. Inform yourself. Knowledge is power. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to this channel. Hit the bell notification icon. Give it a thumbs up. Share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my email list or my website, highimpactflix.com. If you want to support the channel further, grab a shirt. But the takeaway of this is you have freedom, and that freedom is priceless. And the only way to maintain that freedom is through eternal vigilance. And indifference to this notion is the means by which the people have and will secure their own oppression. I will see you in the next video.
All right, guys. I'm gonna kill it. I got some shit I gotta do. Play the outro video. Where'd it go? Oh, there's If I see something as I'm driving around, I got to do something. We do a few things. But if I see something, I'll definitely reach out. Peace.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a run at that. I think she's feeling me, turn it up a few degrees. My imagination of her body gets the best of me. Oh gosh, she's such a tease, bitten lips, bruised knees. I'm addicted to her, need her touching me, cause she got a bad little waist. And we tearing down this place, off the liquor that we chase. Got some egos to the face, baby, I don't need no space. Coming closer for a taste, and I'll show you how I make everything just fade away. Cause she's like sex, drugs, cocaine, body so insane. Jealous of the clothing that she wears up on that tight frame. All game, no shame, baby came here to play. I feel like an addict cause she's sex, drugs, cocaine. Got a fine little body and her mind's kinda naughty. They say that once you taste it, you cannot replace it. She could get you high, all the dopamine inside triggers fast once she's naked. Her body's a creation. They say the devil made her for his entertainment, but even he couldn't learn how to contain it. Her high heels make a damn good statement. There is no replacement, a body by Satan. Cause she got a bad little waist, and we tearing down this place. Off the liquor that we chase, got some egos to the face. Baby, I don't need no space. Coming closer for a taste, and I'll show you how I make everything just fade away. Cause she's like sex, drugs, cocaine, body so insane. Jealous of the clothing that she wears up on a tight frame. All game, no shame, baby came here to play. I feel like an addict cause she's sex, drugs, cocaine.